Chiefs fans, this is the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show.
The Chiefs have won! The Chiefs have won Super Bowl 57!
If you want Chiefs, follow the leader. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
It's a new era's in Kansas City. Plural, perhaps? Yeah, even with the biggest star in the world watching from what appeared to be the Kelsey family suite at Arrowhead, the story of the day is not what was or wasn't shaken off in the booth. It's about what happened on the field when the Chiefs could have had in a day where the Miami Dolphins put up 70. In a day where the Dolphins put up 70 over the Denver Broncos, which I mentioned because who doesn't want me to mention that? Of course you do. The Chiefs really did have an honest-to-goodness chance to be the most dominant performance of the year. Not just of the week. They could have had the NFL world by the throat, but Dolphins-Broncos happened. And when I said this week that I figured the Chiefs would take their foot off the gas a little bit, it's the reason that I thought it might be a lower scoring game. No fear that the Bears were going to challenge the Chiefs in a, realistic way. But I didn't think it was going to be 41-10. I didn't think we wouldn't have to see Patrick Mahomes for the entirety of the fourth quarter. This has, of course, historically been an offense-driven team. And that's still true and will continue to be true. Patrick Mahomes is still the quarterback. The most famous bachelor in America right now is still the greatest tight end of all time who still plays for this team and looked a lot more like himself today. That Mahomes-Kelsey connection, stupendous. But once again, the Chiefs' defense. And today, without Nick Bolton, and with Drew Tranquill taking the green dot from the mic position, the Chiefs' defense is, once again, the story to me. Now, maybe it's not as much of a blowout as it was last week, the battle between narratives, not the game itself, of course. But the Chiefs' defense, without Nick Bolton, and with a Bears unit that is obviously deeply, deeply flawed and fundamentally broken, even then, Justin Fields had a play or two, maybe, where he was able to escape and do some damage with his legs. And the rest of the day, he just didn't have anywhere to go with the football. I'm partially basing this off of some tweets from the beat reporters from the Skybox, and we'll talk to Matt Derrick of Chiefs Digest later on in the show and get his view of this, literally and figuratively, his view on how all of this went. But both by the way Fields was scanning the field and by the way that the beat writers who are up in the booth were tweeting, the Chiefs secondary gave Justin Fields absolutely nothing to work with. And as sorry as the Bears' offense is, and their offensive line was in a bad spot before the game, they do have some talent amongst their pass catchers. They have some guys who can get some separation. And I think you saw that a little bit, not to pick on Jalen Watson, who seems to have conceded that third cornerback job to Joshua Williams, who made a great play on the football. A couple drives later, Jalen Watson's in, and the depth of the defense is being tested, and he has a couple of reps. You go, I think I actually see why Joshua Williams has jumped Jalen Watson in that rotation. In that little push and pull, I think you saw the Bears' offense has some talent. It's a mess all the way through, but it's really hard, no matter what receivers are running. It's really hard for a group of corners to just be in the pocket of NFL wide receivers who have the advantage of knowing where they're going, as they, the defenders, do not know. Just from a simple, basic sporting practice. That's a hard thing to do And the Chiefs' defense was exceptional. They pressured Justin Fields. They rattled Justin Fields. Wire to wire. The Chiefs' defense was spectacular today. Without Nick Bolton. Offensively, maybe this is the more immediately exciting development for most fans, and I wouldn't blame you. I'm leading with the defense ever so slightly because now we have 3 in a row in examples of the Chiefs' defense looking like the best unit on the field. 2 touchdown drives against the Lions. One of them was after they got that stop on 4th and short. No touchdowns to the Jags. 1 late garbage time one to a Bears team that just wanted to put some points up on the board so badly that they settled for a field goal down by 41. This game ended 41-10. And folks, it wasn't that close. Midway through the 3rd quarter, 41-0. And then it was time for the backups. It was time for Blaine Gabbert. A couple of picks. One I think was his fault, one wasn't. And we'll talk about Juwan Taylor and the alignments. And we'll talk about the offensive line altogether. And we'll talk about the refs. And we'll talk about all of the things that are going to come out of this game. Because there's a lot of action in the 3 hours that we just all enjoyed. But I'm not willing to say I need to calibrate to the level of competition today. Though I did tweet, it felt sort of like a non-con game in the middle of conference play. It's like, how did this game get scheduled here? Are you sure you want this mid-major? Is this a game you want right now? All right, fine. Yeah, no, in-season tournament, whatever. But the Chiefs' defense have proven it now against 2 really good offenses and the Bears. And their effort against the worst team of that group on both sides of the ball, being the Bears, I'm over the Lions and Jags, they did the beat-for-beat exact thing we always ask them to do, and that they pretty frequently do not accomplish. We frequently wonder, how is this subpar team going to keep things close with the Chiefs? How are they going to make it stressful? How is this game going to go down to the wire? Is it an AFC South opponent? And this isn't a perfect way of viewing the league, because there are exceptions all across the board. It happens all the time. Parity, and it's a difficult game, all of that. But a good sign of a great team is making a terrible team look terrible. And the Bears had an effort today that had Jim McMahon with just a one-word tweet of embarrassing. Bears fans across the nation and across decades look around and just have to be sick. And it's not because they lost to the defending Super Bowl champions. It's that thing is a bleep show. And they got embarrassed by a real football team today. Making an NFL team look like junior varsity is something to be lauded, because it is hard. It is also why what the Dolphins did to the Broncos today is one of the funniest things I've seen in a very long time. But if the Bears would have had any bite offensively at all, or if Patrick Mahomes' ankle doesn't get rolled up on, if the Chiefs just keep their foot on the gas offensively, I'm not saying they should have done any of those things, but if they had, the Chiefs could have taken the 70-point distinction away from the Dolphins hours after their game wrapped up. You could have at least joined them there. Could have set a new NFL record. Because the offense, the exception of the first drive, just never felt like they were getting stopped or challenged in a meaningful way. And as much as I am disrespecting the Bears, with plenty of reason, as much as I'm disrespecting the Bears, all you can do against a terrible team that is down horrifically is keep them down. And how often have we said over the last couple of years, in the era of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, the best head coach quarterback combo in football, with those guys, how many times have we said, the Chiefs, again, they played down to the level of their competition. They let some subpar team get the best of them again. Yeah, if that's not disappointing, I don't know what is. So we'll take some calls, we'll hear some pressers, we'll go through all of that here in a minute. But at least fight the urge to say, well, it was just the Bears. Because last year it was just the Colts. Every year it's just some AFC South team. And it was just the Bears today. And the Chiefs made them look even worse than they did when they walked into Arrowhead. That still counts for something. Let's talk about Jawaan Taylor. So, in Jacksonville, the penalties pile up. It seems like it's snowballing. He's playing close to home, his former team. Got called out all night on Thursday Night Football. Has to adjust a little bit. He knows it's going to be a point of emphasis all week. So he's out there against the Jags. The penalties pile up, again, snowballing. Andy Reid pulls him for a few plays towards the end of a drive. He goes back out for the next one. That was a story. We talked about that a ton. Press conference with Jawaan Taylor last week. We talked about it a ton. Today was even worse. Not in his execution, but in how things went. In part because of two things that I just don't know Jawaan Taylor can do anything about. Now, look, when Prince Tega Winogo came in, who, by the way, was eventually ruled out, like very quickly ruled out with a quad injury, being ruled out that quickly, especially in a game where the Chiefs did not activate other tackles. Lucas Niang and Wanya Morris were both healthy scratches in this game today. I am fully confident that at least one, if not both of them, will be active next week. Just because being rolled out that fast makes me really worried that it's a long-term injury there for Prince, who was playing some pretty good football when he was out there to my eye. But they pulled Jawaan Taylor. Prince comes in. And then Donovan Smith gets hurt. Prince moves over. Taylor comes in. Prince gets hurt. Smith comes back in. So that whole thing of musical chairs is just concerning for a number of reasons, health and execution. But look, guys, the Marquez Valdez-Scantling touchdown that was before it wasn't. The flag went up at a time when I was expecting it to be a legal formation from the moment I saw the penalty. MVS was still open. I don't think he had the football yet. And well, it's going to be an illegal formation. And also the refs don't know either. Here's a little thought. I don't think the refs throw that flag on that play if they know it's about to be a bomb touchdown because they don't want this conversation. But too bad, you threw the flag. Here's your bed. The way Jawaan Taylor was lined up on the touchdown to MVS, it only happens every game, all the time, constantly. And so for whatever reason that the league has decided to make an example of Jawaan Taylor, if it's because, it was just so embarrassing that a tackle was lined up a little bit outside of the intent of the rule and getting a great jump against the Lions in the first kickoff game of the year, which, great time for the NFL to decide that we're done with this embarrassment. Really excellent. Priorities clearly in order. I'm going to just hold myself back from thinking of 10,000 other things the league should be more embarrassed by. I digress for now. For now. If we have to do this again next week, in prime time, and this show starts at 10:30, I might not. I might go ahead and list off. I might come up with a power ranking of top 10 things the NFL should be more worried about than Jawaan Taylor's alignment. Fully guaranteed contract to a quarterback who plays in Cleveland. Okay, never mind. That alignment happens all the time and never gets called. Do you know a time it happened? The other side of the offensive line. Donovan Smith's alignment is right there with Jawaan Taylor. And look, Prince was lined up a little further up than Taylor was when he came in and started at right tackle. I'm not telling you that Juwan Taylor is exactly where he's supposed to be every time. I'm not, he's not what you're putting on the teaching tape, I suppose, in terms of your alignment. Why is it so hard for him to start lining up a little bit further? I don't know. Andy Reid will get asked about it, and if he says, hey, some of that's on the refs and some of that's on Taylor, there's some blame to be shared. But the overwhelming takeaway for me, I tweeted out the screenshots if you want to go judge them for yourself, at JB Brisco. No E. But it happens every game. They could have thrown that. That was no worse than Juwan Taylor's every other rep, and he got flagged twice for it. The MVS touchdown was no exception compared to everything else, every other way he had lined up. Do you want to penalize him every single rep until he moves his feet up? Does he need to have his head at the line of scrimmage, which isn't the rule? Do you need him to be leaned out further in front of the ball than Creed? A little neutral zone infraction from the offense? Is that even possible? I think it's just offsides, then I'm not sure. I don't know what Juwan Taylor can do when he's the poster child for something that he has always done. And I know we've beaten this point into the absolute dirt. And I'm going to do it again because it's a good point. Everything Juwan Taylor did in week 1, and then did some in week 2, and then did even less today, he was doing all day against Joey Bosa and the Chargers in a playoff game where, if memory serves, the Jags needed everything to go right pretty consistently throughout the back half of that game because everything else had gone wrong before that. And the Chargers chargered, that's cool. But if they wanted to flag the Jags right tackle for every time he was lined up farther back than is written down in the rule book, or every time he moved with the snap, the Jags never would have gotten an offensive snap off in the second half of that game. Bosa was losing his mind because he was noticing what was happening in front of him. But that's not when the NFL sent out the new memo. And man, I really have no interest in being like the NFL's out to get the Chiefs like sycophant, because talking about the refs is no fun, and talking about the refs being out to get your team really sucks. I just don't enjoy that conversation. I don't enjoy being the person having it. I don't enjoy listening to it, whatever. With that being said, the league didn't decide that this was a debacle after that playoff game. It wasn't a debacle when he was going against the Chiefs in the next round of the playoffs. It was a debacle this year on Thursday Night Football in week 1, the first game of the season. If you care about that, care about it during a playoff game, and now Juwan Taylor's got a whole offseason to know, like, all right, this thing's coming. And they're going to really be on my bleep until I am so above reproach that it would be insanity to flag me. And again, if I'm Juwan Taylor, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, let me put my foot on the blade of grass if the ref tells me to. I might ask that ref every snap. I might look over and give him a little point, little thumbs up, like a receiver lining up on or off the line. Hey, am I good? Do it until the ref gets so annoyed that they stop watching you. Juwan Taylor needs to be better at that. I'm not arguing against it. That responsibility does fall to him. But man, how on earth could you even pretend to see something meaningful from the NFL from a refereeing perspective when they don't even penalize Juwan Taylor consistently? Does anyone in America, does anyone believe that Juwan Taylor was in an illegal formation exactly 2 times today? Exactly 2 times. Bleep no, of course not. Exactly 2 times. That'd be ridiculous. Why am I making that the cutoff? Because that's how many times he got flagged for it. I don't remember the play. Was it declined, the first one? I think the first one is illegal formation, maybe a target to sky or something that they ended up declining. I think it was 3rd down. Dylan, you remember? The first illegal formation? That's exactly what. My memory is incredible. 5th drive of the offense, 3rd and 7. Taylor's called for illegal formation, declined because it was incomplete. Mahomes taking a shot for Sky Moore. They end up settling for the field goal. So it didn't even matter in the grand scheme of things. And the next one takes a touchdown off the board. Touchdown to MVS. Gone. And again, the flag's thrown before the play happens. The refs don't know that. It is completely beyond my imagination to hear an argument that the referees correctly checked Jawan Taylor all game. Because if you feel like he's playing by the rules, eventually maybe the eagle eye stops. Or if you feel like he's not playing by the rules, go ahead and call it every bleeping play until they have to pull him. It's deeply frustrating. And ultimately, I guess, not that surprising. Because the NFL's had a refereeing problem for ages. They refused to take some of the meaningful steps that could improve that situation, and here we are. We're going to take a timeout. I know we got some calls on the line. The Gary, Dan, and Butch. I'll get to you three on the other side of the break, and then we'll hear from Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and others throughout the course of the show today. Matt Derrick will join us later on as well. It's the Sports Radio 810 WHB postgame show. Chiefs win in a blowout. So why am I angry? Blame the refs, I guess. Oh, no! I just blame the refs in a 31-point victory. It's still a good day. There's just some really annoying drawbacks from it. Guess we got to shake it off.
You're listening to live post-game coverage on Kansas City's home for the National Football League. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
I'm Dr. Andrew Palmisano, a fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeon with Acentus Healthcare. Acentus now has orthopedic surgery and sports medicine. Myself and Drs. E.J. Wilkinson and Nick Aberly are available for all of your orthopedic needs. Come see our state-of-the-art clinics during our walk-in hours featuring same-day and next-day appointments, Monday through Friday in Leawood and on Parallel Parkway in Kansas City. Call 913-395-0294, 913-395-0294 to book your appointment at Acentus Healthcare today.
For today's show and tell, I present my phone. It's made with glass and various metals I can't pronounce. It's powered by Xfinity Mobile, so my family saves big. Take a handout.
Colin, what are these?
I'm quizzing the class on the material.
Switch to Xfinity Mobile and save hundreds a year with the best price for 2 lines of unlimited. Just $30 a line a month. Visit XfinityMobile.com to learn more. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Unlimited Intro Service and Xfinity Internet required. Taxes and fees extra. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of usage. Data thresholds may vary.
Score big savings with Hy-Vee and the Kansas City Chiefs. Big points mean even bigger savings. Just shop Hy-Vee the day after a game and earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score and based on the amount you spend. If the Chiefs score 42 points, you save 42 cents a gallon with any $42 purchase. The more we score, the more you save. Win or lose, everyone scores the day after a Chiefs game only at Hy-Vee.
Valid in-store only. Must use lookup code 95345. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
You already get your groceries delivered from Hy-Vee, and that's great. But did you know you can also get your food delivered too? As in catered food? Give yourself a break from all the prepping, cooking, and the terrible, awful cleanup. Let Hy-Vee take care of your next get-together, graduation or watch parties, weddings, and holiday celebrations. Hy-Vee is happy to bring you the best food for breakfast, lunch, or dinner while you sit back and take all the credit. Contact Hy-Vee to cater your next event today. Voted Kansas City's best grocer.
Take your family to Tacos for Life and help a child in need. Every meal that you eat at Tacos for Life, you're also providing a meal for a hungry child in a third world country. You can enjoy the high-quality tacos, salads, rice bowls, quesadillas, and nachos at Tacos for Life and know that you're supporting a great cause. This isn't a promotion. This is what they do all year long. New locations in Overland Park and Blue Springs. Mention 810 to get a free queso at checkout. Learn more at tacos4life.com.
Hey, it's country music artist Travis Marvin, and I'm here to tell you about our new podcast that I'm hosting every Military Monday on the Power Up Podcast Network. It's called Cars for Heroes Podcast, where Terry Franz, also known as Car Santa, and I will share the inside story on another car given to a veteran. For over 28 years, Cars for Heroes has been donating cars to veterans in need. Check out new episodes every Military Monday on YouTube by searching the handle Cars4 Heroes, or wherever you get your podcast. And as always, thanks to all of our veterans, and you, our listeners, we appreciate your support.
Hey, but what about your fence? Slagle Fence has you covered. Slagle Fence has the expertise and outstanding service to make sure your fence decision is an easy one. Slagle Fence is your own defense against a handyman that promises the world. The best part of Slagle Fence is they offer competitive prices that won't break the bank. Call Slagle Fence for your free estimate today. Now that's some defense. 816-863-6159 or slaglefence.com.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Jack Johnson to tell you that I'll be out live at Hollywood Casino this Monday for the KC Legend Show. My special guest this Monday is former Pro Bowl wide receiver and Chiefs Ring of Honor member Carlos Carson. We will break down the Bears game and preview the upcoming matchup with the New York Jets. There's no better place than inside Hollywood Casino to place your bets, featuring 16 betting kiosks, 5 betting windows, and 45 HD TVs for viewing the best games. See you Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. at Hollywood Casino.
Greenlight Dispensary is proud to offer convenient online ordering for those on the go. Anyone 21 and older with any valid state ID can place an order for pickup through greenlightdispensary.com and pick it up at your favorite location's drive-thru or grab-and-go window. Greenlight is known for our knowledgeable bud tenders who cater to users of all experience levels, with a large variety of flower, concentrates, edibles, drinks, accessories, and more. Loyalty rewards accumulate with every purchase and can be used for any product in store. So stop by Greenlight Dispensary or go to greenlightdispensary.com today.
Kevin Harlan here. Ann and I loved our new Champion heating and cooling system this past summer.
Our house was always a perfect temperature, and it was so quiet. The humidity control worked like a champion.
And Annie, our energy savings and lower bills came true just like Champion said they would.
Now we're looking forward to keeping our family warm this winter with our Champion Premium Furnace.
Find your local Champion dealer at championhomecomfort.com, and don't forget to ask about their free 10-year parts and labor warranty. Always leading, championhomecomfort.com.
Hey, frozen treat fans, celebrate the newest Andy's Frozen Custard in Olathe on West 105th by Dutch Brothers, Thursday, September 28th, with $2 regular size one-topping sundaes all day long. I'll be at Andy's from 11 until 1 o'clock. Spin the wheel for prizes and enter to win free Andy's Frozen Custard for an entire year till 4 p.m. Andy's, the world's finest frozen custard. The grand opening in Olathe, Thursday, September 28th, with $2 regular size one-topping sundaes all day long. Top your day with a smile at Andy's.
Tom Williams for Guaranteed Foods. Did you buy a membership to save on food? Now you spend more on club store impulse buys than you save on the food? If you really want the best food value, do what thousands have done. Call Guaranteed Foods, America's finest home food service. For great food, better value, and no impulse buying, it's Guaranteed Foods, official sponsor of Family Mealtime since 1958. Find out why at GuaranteedFoods.com, then give us a call, 913-888-5000, Guaranteed Foods.
Whether you're looking for automotive, commercial, or residential tinting, Midwest Tinting is the best in Kansas City. This is SSJ. Commercial and residential tinting reduces fading, glare, and provides privacy while maintaining cooler temperatures and even lowering your energy bills. Tinting is the perfect alternative to blinds or shutters in your home or business, so you can maintain the open concept and enjoy all the benefits. With 3 locations in Overland Park, Lee Summit, and Independence, give Midwest Tinting a try today. Call 913-384-COOL. To learn more.
Eleventh play of the drive. Mahomes lofting end zone. There it is. A touchdown to Kelsey.
I think that picture sums up the day here for Kansas City. They're on top of the world. 2 plays in a row. Andy Reid's trying to get his best player the ball, and just a great little nod shake route down to the goal line. And the Kelsey Mahomes combination going to go down as one of the best ever.
It certainly is, and that's our sweet play of the game, brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Introducing Cannoli Thunder Concrete at Andy's Frozen Custard. This Italian stallion of flavors is made with fresh vanilla frozen custard, crispy cannoli shells, easy for me to say, sweet cream filling, and chocolate chips. Go to eatandys.com for the location nearest you. That's Andy's Frozen Custard. Andy Reid was ice cold today for the Chiefs offense. They did keep their foot on the gas until Patrick Mahomes had his feet wrapped up a little bit extra, having his ankle rolled back up on. We'll hear from Andy Reid later on, the injury updates and all of that. The tackles situation certainly is of concern, both health-wise, and it'll be interesting to hear from Andy Reid on Jawan Taylor as well. We will also later hear from Jerick McKinnon, Trent McDuffie, Patrick Mahomes, and we've been told maybe Travis Kelce. Look, if I was Travis Kelce, I talked to you guys last week after the game. You're gonna just ask me about who's in my suite up there. I got better things to do. I got to go meet with the fan club. But I don't know. Maybe we'll hear from Travis Kelce. Maybe not. Dylan, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways on taking some calls here, or should we stay in a brief holding pattern? Are you currently... Okay, so we're going to hold here for just a second, and it's either going to be McDuffie or Kelce, or we'll take some calls. So just a matter of time until Dylan lets me know which direction we're headed. It sounds like we will be able to start taking the phones. I want to make sure. I don't like cutting people off when we just start opening them up and have to make sure. Okay, great. We're good to take some phone calls, which means we start with Butch. Butch, first on, first up. How you feeling, Butch?
Hey, gentlemen. How about those Chiefs?
How about them, Butch?
Listen, I ate fried food for the first time about a week and a half, so my gut is not agreeing with me. But you know what is agreeing with me? My fandom right now, because I know for a fact that what the league is trying to do to the Kansas City Chiefs ain't going to work. All right? Now, let's just get into the positives of it, man. I mean, let's start off with the good stuff. First of all, so what do we have with this team thus far? Okay, we have a team that's maybe regressing a little bit as far as injuries are concerned. Last year, very lucky with injuries. Beginning of the year, this year, a little bit less lucky. That happens. What is changing? What's the next iteration of this team that allows you to stay a step ahead of the opponent? The way the defense is playing and the contributions, both free agency and draft, that have turned you into something on defense that you have not seen in years. That is real. It is real. It is on tape. Teams are going to be afraid of the way this team plays defense. Look on the other side, the Chicago Bears, all that free agency money, all those high draft picks, what'd that get them?
10 points barely.
A dang near 40 spot and a half.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the difference. It's tangible now what the Chiefs are doing. What else is real? I'd say number 4 is real.
Yeah.
When I go in there and put on the tape, I had to take my glasses off. Sammy, is that you? Is that Prime Sammy?
Ooh, Prime
With
Sammy.
the explosiveness and cutting through. It's starting to look like an outfit that says, hey, we don't have our best clubs in the bag. Today we did, but even if we don't, we have something that we can rely upon to where quarterbacks like you, Zach Wilson, quarterbacks like you, Russell Wilson, and quarterbacks like you, Justin Herbert, have to be concerned about, because we're only giving you so much of what we can on offense because we know the league is trying to screw Jawan Taylor, which I know you got into a little bit earlier. But even if we don't get that, we can do the second iteration of that iteration, which is what Steve Spagnuolo was talking about with getting turnovers. 2 of them off a bad offense, but it still works. Look, I say all that to say this. Let's wrap up with this, right? The next few weeks, even with this bad sprain of his ankle with Mahomes, it's just a basketball sprain, wasn't a high ankle sprain like what we saw, going into the playoffs. Is that going to be terrible? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But the way they work around that is by saying we have now 4 receivers that we think we can use to stretch offense defenses out, because the deep ball is there. They're looking for it. It's there a little bit. It should have been there more today. It'll be there more next week. When we get that going, paired with this defense, we'll be ready for you, Buffalo, in the AFC Championship game, because that's what it's looking like thus far. Savor the flavor.
Appreciate it, Butch. I'm going to circle back on some of the takeaways here today, but I want to get everybody a chance to get in before we have to go back to pressers. So next up, we got Gary. Gary, you're on 810. How you feeling, man?
Pretty good. I'm going to take the opposite approach. I think it was a product of a bad football team out there today. We took full advantage of it. You can't fault them for that, but let's see what those receivers do next week when they go to New York and see that secondary, because that'll be a better test for this offense to see where they're really at. But it was nice to see us run the football today.
Yeah.
But in closing, Jawan Taylor, I think it's time for the Chiefs just to start finding you every time you do it. That seems to affect you a little bit more. $50,000 here, $50,000 there. It adds up over the course of the season, because I guess Andy Heck's not getting through to him, Coach Reed's not getting through to him, but defensively, Steve Spagnuolo's been one of my goats for so long that I really can't criticize him through 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm going to close you with this. how much longer do you think we'll see the Taylor Swift 87 tour? I'll hang up and listen. Great show, Josh.
Gary, I appreciate it as always. I hope we see that tour go as many stops as it needs to. But we'll get some more calls here. But first, Trent McDuffie now at the podium. Not yet at the podium. Okay, never mind. He's on his way to the podium. I think the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce thing has been a blast, and it's another ridiculous example of Kansas City currently being the center of the universe, not just sports, but altogether. It is really remarkable. So, Dylan, I saw Lebo said McDuffie's about in the room. Do I have time still to take another couple calls? Okay, we still do. And let's give me a quick turnaround. And we can get to Dan. I know Dan is going to get it in under the buzzer. Dan, how you feeling, sir?
I'm feeling great, Joshua. How about that dominant performance by the Chiefs offensively and defensively? And, boy, I'm telling you something, I'm ready for that game next week against the Jets. All Chiefs got to do, Joshua, just stop Breece Hall and Delvin Cook and the pressure on Zach Wilson, and they'll heal the boo birds when they get started to turnovers. Even though the Patriots dominated the game, I couldn't believe that Hail Mary almost pulled that off. And how about the Dolphins 70 points? First time since 1966. I'm looking forward to next week. Let's take care of the Jets. Take care of yourself, Joshua.
Dan, appreciate it as always. I completely agree with those takes. Still got time to sneak in one more. Kyle, I don't want to rush you, but if we get you in now, you don't have to wait for any more pressers. So tell me how you're feeling, Kyle.
Hey, Josh. By the way, thank you for taking my call. Real quick. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the offense. I thought the wide receivers, Justin Watson coming in clutch. I thought they played a lot better last week than this week, the route running and everything. The small things they worked on, you can definitely tell in practice, and then second of all, the defense. Offense wins games, defense wins championships, and this is the best defense championship game that I've seen. And one more thing, Josh, and I'm going to let you go on this. And now, for the guy that scored 40 points, Josh Brisco. I'll listen to the call.
Kyle, I appreciate you, sir. We're going to go right now to Arrowhead because Trent McDuffie just stepped up to the podium.
When he has the ball in his hands, and when it came to that fumble, knew the certain look that we gave, they might check to the screen, and sure enough they did. And just made a play on it. And, man, all we do, Coach Bags, over the week just talks about getting the ball out, punching and stripping it. And fortunate enough, I was able to get it out.
Honestly, that's an emphasis, I'm sure, last year as well. But for you personally, is it more emphasis this year, considering you only all one of those last year?
Yeah, man, missing half the season last year definitely gave me a chip coming into this year. Just in terms of just the impact that I can have with this defense, and being able to have Coach Spags trust me on the field, not only just with knowing my assignment, but he has this thing called My Job Plus, and being able to go out there and make plays and really make an impact on the game. It's something that I'm really focused on doing this year.
How good can you guys end up being before it's all set?
Yeah, this is a young, and I keep saying this is a hungry defense, and we got a lot of guys committed to not only just the defense, but each other. And there's a big, strong brotherhood with this defense, and it's exciting to come in each and every day and work with these guys, and I feel like we are only scratching the surface, so excited for the rest of the season.
Trey, can you elaborate on when Spags says My Job Plus, what he means by that?
Yeah, it's pretty much knowing your assignment each and every play, reading your keys, eye discipline, stuff like that, but it's football and things happen, and sometimes even if you're doing your job, things go the wrong way, and it's pretty much just when things do happen, when things go wrong, or just in any down and distance, being able to make the play when you're needed, and even just when you're not needed, when there's a freak long break and Justin Fields ran up the field, and being able to stop them and get back on defense, it's kind of just My Job Plus.
Well, it's pretty clear Chris is pretty motivated this year. What do you feel like he's doing for all three levels of the defense?
Say one more time, sorry.
How do you feel like he's impacting on all levels?
Yeah, I mean, sure, you saw him last year, 15 sacks, coming off a big year. We knew that when he came in, he was going to make an impact, and it's nice as a DB to know that, he's getting pressure each and every time. So when it comes to first down, second down, third down, being able to stop the run, play his gaps, get at the quarterback, he's a tremendous player, and I know I love him, and we was just goofing on the sidelines, so I love to be around him, but yeah, it's great to have a D-line who can get back there and get pressure.
We hear the term brotherhood a lot, just amongst sports in general.
Yeah.
Putting guys together doesn't always create that.
Yeah.
What does that, how do y'all create that?
Yeah, honestly, I think it just comes to how young we are. to be honest. Knowing that you got a bunch of guys who just came in last year, who were new to the team last year, and Coach Spags was able to kind of just start off with a clean slate almost, kind of reteach the defense and put in his philosophy with all of us. And a lot of the guys bought into it and were like, okay, we got you, we trust you. And then, man, last year, at least as a DB in our rookie class, I can say that we were together every single day trying to teach each other the plays, just checking in on each other. So when you got guys like that where football is the main thing, but also outside of football, you know, you can rely on them. They're checking up on you. You know, you're hanging out. We're going to eat dinners on Thursdays. It's huge, and it just adds to the bond even more.
How impressive is Drew Tranquil being able to step in for an all-pro like
Yeah.
Bolton and not miss a beat?
Yeah, it was huge. I was really excited that he was able to go out there, and, man, this defense is tough. And there's a lot of checks, and Spags puts a lot of pressure on our Mike backers, and he just rolled with the punches. I mean, throughout the week, you would have safeties, DBs. I mean, like, hey, what about this check, what do you see? And he's like, hey, guys, whatever y'all see on this defense, you let me know. And he was able to go out there and run an efficient game and came up with some big tackles and was able to command this defense really well. So I thought Drew did an amazing job today.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Is that it? Yeah, we're done.
There you hear it straight from the man himself. The Chiefs are done from the podium for now. We'll come back and hear from Jerick McKinnon and more locker room audio as well. I've already forgotten, Dylan, who we've got audio from. I know we got Trey Smith from SSJ and a couple others. If you remember, you can tell us. If you don't remember, it's no big deal. We'll just continue to bring you audio from Arrowhead one way or the other here on Sports Radio 810 WHB Kansas City. Rasheed Rice and Willie Gay also. So in addition to McKinnon, Willie Gay, Rasheed Rice, Trey Smith, Matt Derrick, Isaiah Pacheco, it is a blowout of audio here today, fitting for a 41-10 victory. We'll talk about it more when we come back here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
You're listening to live post-game coverage on Kansas City's home for the National Football League. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
WHB Kansas City.
Hey, this is SSJ with more about Window Nation and more from Window Nation. When it comes to new windows, Window Nation always gives you more. But now they're giving you even more. The more windows you buy, the more you save. Up to 50% off, plus a lot more. Pay nothing for 2 full years. It's another amazing deal on the windows that deliver more for your home. More energy savings, more value, more features, more options, more beauty. And now if you want more, you get more. Just call Window Nation at 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com. Buy 5 to 10 windows and get 30% off. Buy 11 to 15 windows and get 40% off. And if you buy more than 15 windows or a house of windows, you'll get 50% off. More than that, whatever size your order is, put no money down, make no payments, and pay no interest for 2 full years. The only thing you don't get is more time. Call Window Nation today, 866-90NATION. That's 866-90NATION. Or get details online at windownation.com. Window Nation never leaves you wanting for more. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
Warm weather is just around the corner, which means insects and other pests are soon to follow. Plan now to keep bugs out of your home or business with Augustine Exterminators. Now's the time to establish and or maintain a barrier from pests. Augustine also provides carpet, rug, tile, and air duct cleaning. Enjoy your backyard this summer by keeping mosquitoes away. For an average size home, Augustine Mosquitoes Control Service is only $85 a month. Call Augustine Exterminators today at 913-359-8627 or go online to AugustineExterminators.com.
Hey, Chiefs Kingdom. This is Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. To stay at the top of their game, the Chiefs have trusted the University of Kansas Health System for their care. And you can trust them to care for you, too. Whether you're a pro athlete, a student athlete, or a fan who likes to stay active, the care remains the same. Because the University of Kansas Health System cares for the entire Chiefs Kingdom. To request an appointment, visit kansashealthsystem.com/Chiefs.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Update your home to make life easier with smart home products from Fight Electric. Always know who's at your door with an HD video doorbell. Receive alerts when motion is detected and see live video right on your phone from anywhere. Right now, pick up an HD video doorbell for just $49.99 after 11% off. Good through October 1st. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards. Hey, this is the Fat Jack. We're in the middle of
September. How is your gambling going? It is time to make some money, and I have got a deal for you. My once-a-month $99 weekend special. Go to FatJackSports.com, and this weekend only, it's only $99 to make money all the way through Monday. That's all the football, NFL, and college, and the free bases. Only $99. Go to FatJackSports.com. Sign up today, and in September, into profit, stop guessing, and start winning at FatJackSports.com.
Tito's handmade vodka on game day? Pour me in, coach. From a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch. Root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit. No matter who's on your roster, lineup, or lucky jersey, make Tito's your first-round bottle pick. Whose house? Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres? In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. And now try Babbel for free by texting radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000. That's RADIO to 64,000.
I'm here at the ballpark with Brad McGee from LBA Home Services. Brad, you look annoyed.
Just look at all those people leaving the game early. There's an inning and a half left.
I see what you mean. Those fans are being shortchanged.
They're not getting the perfect baseball experience.
All 9 innings.
Exactly. It's like when we install a tankless water heater, your shower should be hot right to the end.
The perfect shower experience.
And you should never be cut short because the water goes cold.
Even if you have teenagers who can sometimes use a lot of hot water.
Makes no difference. Remember, I work at LBA Home Services, and perfect is our minimum standard.
So you believe everyone should have the perfect shower experience?
Not just me. Everyone at LBA thinks this way. Having your water go cold is like
missing the last inning and a half of the ball game.
Anything less than perfect is unacceptable. Come on, batter, swing.
One simple idea, one name to remember.
Just remember LBA.
LBAservices.com.
Hey, Kansas City, Stephen St. John here. Let me tell you about my incredible experience with Border Magic. They just installed stunning custom concrete landscape edging around our entire home. Our landscaping now looks like a work of art. This concrete landscaping edging will improve your curb appeal and enhance your property value. I would recommend Border Magic to anyone. Check out images of their work at southkc.bordermagic.com. Border Magic, a perfect cost-effective way to create a gorgeous first impression of your home. Call Border Magic today.
Hey, Kansas City, dreading the car buying experience? Not anymore. Welcome to Silver Lining Motors, where we turn your worries into joy rides. We stock only the highest quality pre-owned cars, each one inspected by certified master technician Dave. Whether you're seeking a family SUV or a sporty coupe, your perfect match is waiting on our lot. Come see us today at 103rd and State Line or browse online at www.silverliningmotors.com. Silver Lining Motors. Dread the car buying experience? We're your silver lining. See you at Silver Lining Motors.
At Ace, their helpful folks know you've got everyday things you need to take care of around the house. But did you know they can help with your business too? Find all of their locations online at westlakehardware.com. Running your business just got easier with Westlake Commercial.
Mahomes wide open, McKinnon, he's in again. Touchdown, Chiefs.
There's no better red zone schemer in the league than Andy Reid. Watch the little rub here that Rice does. They send him a jet, and McKinnon just sneaks right out. It's man coverage. Joshua Brisco is matched up on Derrick McKinnon's got no shot. Nice job there by Rashee Rice, running interference on the rub. And like you said, they can do whatever they want.
Some Andy Reid razzle-dazzle there on our play of the game, brought to you by Central Bank of the Midwest. At Central Bank of the Midwest, every customer is a first-round draft pick. At Central Bank of the Midwest, strong roots, endless possibilities, member FDIC. In fact, it's time to hear from Jerick McKinnon. He speaks at the podium from Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs running back into his touchdown-scoring ways. Let's hear from McKinnon after the game.
You got your score today, and so much Clyde's score. You were the first one out there, just to congratulate. How tight is the running back room, and how much do you guys get off each other?
Man, super tight. Y'all already know this. But we said it all week. We were trying to go for a hat trick. Everybody get a touchdown. Runs got called early. Plays got called early for us, and we just maximized the opportunity.
Jerick, you guys are facing a team that had some struggles, and then coming in with the right front of mind, maybe. How important was it for you guys to put your foot on their neck early and take all the life out of on the offensive side?
Well, that's a tough team. They fought all 4 quarters, and obviously they had a lot going on, within their own team. But we wanted to get back to doing what we do best, and that was being the Kansas City Chiefs. Offensive-wise, the first 2 weeks we didn't look too sharp. So we got challenged by the coaches, we challenged ourselves, and we came out today and got off on the right track.
Much more balance today. I mean, did you appreciate the fact that you guys got much more involved in the game early on, especially with the run plays that didn't, of course, pay off with the scores?
Of course, but overall, just more excited at the execution. Whether it's run, pass. I feel like in previous weeks we just lacked execution. Today we came out, we executed, converted a good amount of third downs, and was able to keep drives sustained.
It's probably too early in the season to say the offense needs a day like this, but does this offense, did you feel like it was good to have based on the previous 2 weeks?
It's definitely a step in the right direction. But the thing about this team is we're never satisfied. So it's going to be another challenge next week. Challenge by the coaches, challenge the team, then challenge within ourselves. So we're ready for the opportunity.
Can you take us through your touchdowns?
Which one?
First and first, second.
Coach Reid put in a couple plays for me. So when I heard the personnel, I already knew what was going on. It was just a matter of execution. The first one, it got handed off to Scott all week in practice, so I had a feeling I was going to get in the game. But like I said, it's just a great collective effort. Played great on defense today. Special teams played great today. Just all around, just 3 phases, collectively played great.
It seemed like a lot of inspiration with those dances you guys had. Can you walk us through some of those?
Man, we just be clowning at practice, so it's a little stuff in the works, but we just out there having fun with it, man. That's what it's all about. At the same time, it's a job. It's what we do. We want to win, but at the same time, we want to have fun with it. So I think that was the energy today, man. Everybody just had fun, let loose, forget about what happened, man. Just come out and play football.
How much fun is it to watch that defense operate? They didn't give up any points.
It was great. We know what kind of defense we have. They played lights out the first 2 weeks, and then today they just kept it going. So we expect big things out of them this year. They got a lot of playmakers on that side of the ball, and anytime we need to play, we know we trust them, and they're gonna come up with one.
It was a team effort, both amongst the entire offense and the running back room, both sides of the ball carrying their weight. I mean, truly a team effort of the highest order. I will continue to hear audio from Arrowhead as we go as well, but wanted to go back to a few of the things that some of the last round of callers mentioned in the last segment. Gary mentioning that it is against the Bears, and I understand that it's a bad team. But that's all you can ask a team to do, is to make a bad team look like a bad team, to keep a bad team down. I mentioned this at the top of the show, but how many times over the years, and even in an era as successful as the Reid and Mahomes one, how many times have we gone, man, it just feels like they can't put a bad team away. They let this team stick around, and then some wacky bleep happens. Not a problem today. I did think that it's an interesting point if you're still concerned about the Chiefs pass catchers, the wide receivers, which I am at least certainly monitoring this, to say, hey, the Bears secondary to the Jets secondary is an outrageously large gulf between those two, and that's absolutely true. Who's going to create separation from Sauce Gardner? I don't know. Who is going to cover Travis Kelce? I also don't know. But that is a immensely more talented defense that the Jets have. That's, again, a completely fair point. They'll be on Sunday Night Football next week so we can see what the crew thinks of how Juwan Taylor's lined up. Should be a lot of fun. But that will be a different standard and different target. I think you can fully credit the Chiefs for completely handling business against the Bears without forgetting that it was against the Bears. I think there's a sweet spot there that you can hit. But as Butch talked about with Rashee Rice, who I think young Sammy Watkins is a really fun comp. I think Mahomes might have used Sammy Watkins as a comp during training camp, right? The second Blaine Gabbert pick was Rashee Rice's fault. It like literally hit him in the Norma Hunt memorial patch, like on the front of the jersey, on the shoulder pad kind of thing right up front there. When a football goes like through your hands, hits you there, bounces up, bad things are going to happen. And that was a really disappointing last memory to have on an otherwise really fun day from Rashee Rice. About an inch short of 2 touchdowns. Looked comfortable in the offense. And after missing this assignment on I think what may have been his first target, when Mahomes went to him and he just kind of slowed up on the route. I don't think it was an effort thing. I think it's trying to figure out where he's supposed to be thing. And that was like a red flag that immediately, is worth noting, because you've seen young receivers come into this offense and not figure out what the speed they're supposed to play at is. The rest of the game, Rashee Rice, I don't want to skip over anybody, but I think I'm going to mean this when I say it out loud. In this one game sample size, I think Rashee Rice looked like the second most comfortable Chiefs pass catcher in the offense and finding some space in the defense. That play that was, again, just short of a touchdown, where he just kind of runs down the seam and turns around and gives Mahomes a big target and continues to kind of move his feet and float a little bit backwards. And at that point, backwards being downfield. Some of that stuff in his first NFL touchdown, those are not today, but earlier in the year. Those are examples to me of Rashee Rice looking like a guy who understands how the field changes in real time and how what he needs to do evolves as they're reading the defense. And as he finds some green grass in his zone where he has some space around him, hey man, you're not in any hurry to get out of this uncovered blade of grass. Hang out here for 1 second. Let's see if Mahomes gets it to you. Keep floating into more and more space and sort of glide away from defenders. That's a hard thing, apparently, just as we've seen it go. I never had to do this for Patrick Mahomes, but that's a hard thing for young receivers to get comfortable doing, because you have to execute your assignments and know when you're allowed and supposed to break them. I can fully understand why that would be a difficult thing. And Rice looks comfortable, and that's a huge, huge positive. I don't know what his role will be next week. The first target of the game today went to Justin Ross. He couldn't haul it in, but that was kind of interesting. The first 15, they're going to be doing things. But in a game where you could have told me, by the way, that Kadarius Toney didn't play. I don't think I wrote his name down one time. I don't know how many reps he ended up with. He had a catch for a loss of 1. Dylan, I'm honestly asking, do you remember that play at all? Did I write that play down, or is that somewhere in a chunk of plays where I went, loss of 1, let's just skip on to 2nd and 11?
Who are we speaking of?
Kadarius Toney.
Oh.
I did not write his name in my Google Doc. I just Control-F'd and looked.
I think you're right, very early on in the game.
And maybe that was like an early touch to kind of see how he was doing. He had the toe issue out of last week, and really now in real time, we had a lot of moving parts of the postgame show during the game and all of that. So sometimes I'll look over at the box score and I'll go like, wow, I didn't realize that, Sky Moore had 4 catches for 42 yards or whatever. That feels about right. But sometimes I'll look over and go, oh, what about that? What about this guy? Honest to goodness, you could have convinced me that Kadarius Toney, I knew he wasn't inactive because I saw the inactives, because Wanya Morris and Lucas Niang were both healthy scratches for the second week in a row. Maybe was one of them active in week 1? I think one of them was. And Richie James to the IR means that you don't have a scratch spot, because he'll be gone for at least 4 weeks. Point being, in a game where Kadarius Toney was not a factor, and ultimately Justin Ross, much to my chagrin, wasn't a factor, Rashee Rice, Justin Watson, Sky Moore, and MVS are the only wide receivers who ended the game with positive yards receiving. But this Rashee Rice development, 7 targets. Some of those were certainly from Gabbert. I need to figure out what the split was, because that certainly changes the analysis. It's why I don't go to the box score for the talking points, to be clear. Sometimes I like to look over and realize, the counting stats may have had some things that pop out of it that I didn't notice in real time. What I noticed in real time is that Rashee Rice looks comfortable. And he looks like a weapon. And the Chiefs have been working really hard to find one of those guys. We were talking about it during the game with Sky Moore on that little, I think it was 3rd and 3 or something, where he just is, runs a 5-yard little out to the sideline and the ball gets delivered on target. You move the sticks. Sweet. If Sky Moore lives his Chiefs life as a possession receiver who has a chance to do something special after the catch if he ends up in space, I'd sign up for that future right now. The stuff that he wasn't doing through the first couple of weeks that I was hoping to start seeing him do as soon as possible is exactly that kind of thing. Hey, man, be a plus sticks mover. Dylan keeps mentioning Julian Edelman. By the way, Joshua Brisco here, Dylan Michaels on the other side of the glass, Covell Hudson producing the effort as well. Dylan keeps, when we have our Sky Moore conversations, he's going, Julian Edelman. And Sky Moore is at least measures faster than Julian Edelman did. I would certainly bet. I do not know what Julian Edelman's last measured 40 time was, but I'm guessing it was slower than Sky Moore's. But if he is a persistent chain mover who Patrick Mahomes can confidently look to, so it's not just Travis Kelce, I'd take that from Sky. But I'm not sure I would for Rashee Rice. He's only 3 games into his NFL career, and he looks like he might have a real ceiling. And, I'm not being revisionist here, because we talked about this a little bit on Friday. Bears secondary is not good. Safety group might be the worst in the league. The MVS touchdown that wasn't, I really thought was going to be the first of several more shots like that. They took one more, and the game was so out of hand they didn't need to pick on those safeties anymore, so maybe they just didn't want to put any more deep route concept stuff on tape or whatever. Maybe MVS was just out there running wind sprints as always, just trying to drag safeties around, opening up stuff underneath. That's valuable. Justin Watson does a lot of the same, and Watson has looked like a real receiver this year. I say that with a tiny bit of surprise, but no disappointment. Happy to see it. Point being, they took advantage of the matchup that they had. If the receivers look exactly this good next week against the Jets, I'll be more excited. But I can still be encouraged even by beating the Bears. Dylan talked to me real quick in terms of getting that audio back from Arrowhead. He had a whiteboard with the names written on and everything ready to go. Didn't even have to. You're allowed to use your voice on the radio too, Dylan. This show very frequently, specifically in the years as Beards McFly, similarly bearded and hatted. He was a backwards hat man. Dylan's wearing his forward, which I appreciate because he's a Colin Cowherd stan.
Well, and also we're talking to adults, so.
That's exactly right. I do think the sunglasses are disrespectful, but I like that they're the ones that have the funny print on them that look like big eyes.
I got them all, I think.
You got everybody? We're ready to start cooking through? Well, I've been talking about Rashee Rice. I would genuinely love to hear what he thought about his game. Again, he ended on a sour note. That pick is his fault off his shoulder pad to my eyes, but overall, a really nice game, while Patrick Mahomes was the one throwing them the football at least. So let's go ahead and hear from rookie wide receiver Rashee Rice after the 3rd game of his NFL career.
I remember talking to you at the charity softball game for MVS and how excited you were to be in this offense. After a couple of weeks, how's that feel? How are you getting accustomed and comfortable in this offense now?
I feel like everything I've expected to happen is basically happening. It's not happening by, me just waking up and it, just me being in the right place. It's everybody working together hard in practice just to know what our goal is as far as, for the season.
You almost had a couple today. So what did that feel like out there? Good plays. So you mad at yourself? Just come up just a little bit short. Could have had 2.
So I wasn't mad. I was still lit from, thinking I scored. But, Jet and Clyde scoring, I was happy for them. And I know that the ball kept coming my way. If I scored with it, then it was fine. I know we got another game. We got plenty more games in the season for me to score. So as long as we got the win, that's cool.
How's that feel just to go out and beat the hell out of somebody?
It feels great. It feels more than great. And then, we took Pat out, the second half, so I knew we won the game.
So did you know Taylor Swift was here? Did you find out during, after, before? Like, when did you know she was here?
I found out she was here when the last people just interviewed me, and then I went to go talk to Trav. I didn't know.
So are you a Swiftie? Because if you weren't, man, you need to be now. Because you are.
Yeah, I'm a Swiftie.
Okay. Especially with 41 points up, so you got to be a Swiftie.
Yeah, I'm a Swiftie. She must be good luck. She got to come to every game.
Hey, next week, Sunday Night Football. How excited are you to go out and play against New York on a Sunday night primetime?
I'm more than excited. I mean, it's another game. All it is for us is another opportunity to keep going and keep being on pace for our goal.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course, appreciate you.
I didn't realize that was going to be all Rashee Rice and SSJ. That's some good stuff there. Got a little Swiftie intel. How it feel to beat the hell out of somebody. That's good stuff. This Stephen St. John fella, like his arrows pointing up. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to get too worked up, but that's fun. Let's hear how Steven's conversation with Willie Gay went. Let's go to the defensive side. He's always a fun guy to hear from, and the defense has been absolutely on fire in no small part because Willie Gay has played some really good football, and today Drew Tranquil played some excellent football because there was no Nick Bolton out there, and nobody missed a beat. Here's Willie Gay talking about the defense, holding the Bears to a late and honestly pretty sorry 10 points.
Whatever it is, whenever I'm out there, man, I feel like I can always do better to help my team. So, but like I say, the win, man, and giving up 10 points is always huge.
Talk about getting that first win in you guys lost the first game of the season here, getting a home win.
Always big, especially when you do it like that, man. We wanted the goose egg, but came up a little short, so we're going to try for it next week. But the win is definitely the biggest thing. So.
I think one of the things is last season you guys sometimes played down against a team like this. You went out today and it felt like the word go really put them away.
Oh yeah, man. We don't take it easy on anyone. You know, from a defense standpoint, you know, offense don't do their thing obviously, but defense we definitely try to hold it down and we just go out there, man, and finish the job like we did. So.
What kind of identity has this defense established through 3 weeks?
The best defense in the NFL, man, definitely. So we're gonna keep it rolling.
Did you feel like you guys were able to rattle Fields a little bit? He's been struggling, and he struggled again today. Did you feel like you guys were able to get to him?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. With our speed, man, we definitely had him back there panicking and trying to just make plays happen. And we did, like I said, we did our job and made it hard on them, and it's the outcome.
How good does it feel when you guys get out to a big league like that, and then you get to spin your rears back and go after them?
Hey, that's when the D-line eat, man. You know, back end's chilling, and D-line go do their thing.
Well, you guys had to step up without Nick out there. What did you miss without Bolton? You guys still play very well, but you know.
Yes, sir. Like I said, man, there's no weak links in the linebacker room. So no matter who's down or who's up, you know, we're gonna keep carrying it. And when those guys come back like Nick, we're gonna be even stronger. So.
See the defense just kind of humming these first 3 weeks.
Yes, sir.
I'd rather doing it early than later. So,
oh yeah.
How does that feel?
Feels great, man. Great start. So we're gonna keep it rolling mid-season all the way to the end of this thing.
How good can you guys be as a unit defensively?
Even better. You know, we're looking for goose eggs. So yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Good stuff there from Willie Gay in the locker room, which is our locker room report here presented by Twin Peaks.
The Chiefs Locker Room Report is brought to you by Twin Peaks. No one does football like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, they have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu, second to none. And don't forget about their 29-degree man-sized drafts at Twin Peaks.
We'll take a time out here on the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show. Come back and hear from Andy Reid as he looks like he had plenty to say, not just about the Chiefs' performance, but also about the treatment of Juwan Taylor. I don't know. I haven't heard the audio, so we'll find out. But I wonder if Andy Reid's press conference might cost him a few bucks in the league office today. I don't wonder if that fine would be worth it, because I'm inclined to believe it might be when your $80 million right tackle is the entire focus of one specific NFL rules campaign. Might be worth a few grand to your favorite charity in order to tell the NFL how you feel about how the officiating is being handled. We'll hear from Andy Reid on the other side here at the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show.
You're listening to live postgame coverage on Kansas City's home for the National Football League. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan here with Kansas City's best Ford dealer, Bobby Sight of Rob Sight Ford of South Kansas City. Hey, Bobby, how you doing?
Well, Kevin, Mr. Harlan, I'm great. I actually have something new to announce.
What's that, Bobby?
Well, we've made buying cars easier than ever before. Buy your new or pre-owned vehicle in 30 minutes or less at Rob Sight Ford, It's the easiest buying process in Kansas City.
Bobby, that's incredible because you know what? Everybody loves easy.
Well, it's easy when you've got the best prices and the best staff in town. Oh, and one more thing.
What's that, Bobby?
Well, your daughter, that bought the Explorer from me at Rob Site Ford, well, she just said yes.
Oh, yes. What, to another offer? To another car? What?
No. Yes to marrying me.
Marrying you? What are you talking about?
You're the new father-in-law of Rob Site Ford.
The new father-in-law of Bobby, I kind of like that. Hey, from now on, why don't you just call me Kevin?
Okay, Kevin.
You know what? Let's stick with Mr. Harlan.
Rob Site Ford at 135th and State Line in South Kansas City. RobSite.com.
Hey, this is SSJ with more about Window Nation and more from Window Nation. When it comes to new windows, Window Nation always gives you more. But now they're giving you even more. The more windows you buy, the more you save. Up to 50% off, plus a lot more. Pay nothing for 2 full years. It's another amazing deal on the windows that deliver more for your home. More energy savings, more value, more features, more options, more beauty. And now if you want more, you get more. Just call Window Nation at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. Buy 5 to 10 windows and get 30% off. Buy 11 to 15 windows and get 40% off. And if you buy more than 15 windows or a house of windows, you'll get 50% off. More than that, whatever size your order is, put no money down, make no payments, and pay no interest for 2 full years. The only thing you don't get is more time. Call Window Nation today, 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or get details online at windownation.com. Window Nation never leaves you wanting for more. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
Kansas City, you don't need a reason to order Hickory Smoked Barbecue from Jack Stack. You can order it anytime you want. Just order a carryout online at jackstackbbq.com/810. That's jackstackbbq.com/810.
Hey, Kansas City. Good Sense here. Size really does matter when it comes to our sensational subs. The competition just can't stack up to our giant 16-inch whole sandwiches. Starting with our Baked Fresh Daily Pillowy Soft Bread, loaded with your choice of sliced-to-order meats and cheeses, and the freshest veggies in town. Why would you settle for second string when you can eat like a starter every day?
Hear exclusive Chiefs coverage every week from the best in the business. Only on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Trent Green, Adam Schefter, Tim Grunhard, Adam Teicher, Matt Derrick, Adam Kaplan, Chef Shadia, Nick Leckie, Gary Barnett, Bill Moss, Mark Bowraker, Stan Weber, Sam McDowell, Seth Kaiser, Blair Kirchhoff, Kevin Harlan, Field Yates, Jesse Newell, Cynthia Freeland, and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
In town for a big football game or wanting a staycation to enjoy the great fall weather? Experience the Inn at Meadowbrook. Enjoy the lakefront park trails and spacious family suites. Nestled in the middle of parkland, lakes, and trails in the heart of Meadowbrook Park and only 15 minutes from Kansas City's attractions, the Inn is thoughtful and intimate in design, purposefully tucked away from the hustle and crowds. The Inn at Meadowbrook is a one-of-a-kind hotel you'll love to experience. For reservations, go to innatmeadowbrook.com or call 913-329-9000.
For today's show and tell, I present my phone. It's made with glass and various metals I can't pronounce. It's powered by Xfinity Mobile, so my family saves big. Take a handout.
Colin, what are these?
I'm quizzing the class on the material.
Switch to Xfinity Mobile and save hundreds a year with the best price for 2 lines of unlimited. Just $30 a line a month. Visit XfinityMobile.com to learn more. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Unlimited Intro Service and Xfinity Internet required. Taxes and fees extra. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of usage. Data thresholds may vary.
Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. I forget to let folks know that we do water quality. We offer whole home water filters that remove the chloramines as well as softeners to remove hardness. This month we are offering $200 off any water treatment system installed. Reusable water bottles are better all around. Be green and save money. Call 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com.
Each season, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City and Sporting KC team up to recognize Blue KC Sporting Samaritans. This is a program that highlights students and teachers who make the Kansas City community a better place to live, work, and play. If you believe someone within the Kansas City area education community would be a worthy candidate, please nominate these difference makers by going online to sportingkc.com/bluekc. That's sportingkc.com/bluekc.
If you're thinking of purchasing a home, don't wait for the rates to drop before you buy. When rates drop, house prices climb. Take advantage of our Inflation Shield purchase program exclusive at Cap One Lending. Being an Inflation Shield customer, you can enjoy home ownership now, and when rates drop, our streamlined process will allow you to enjoy a lower rate and a lower payment. We will also waive our lender fee when you refinance at your new low rate. Call now to get pre-approved, 816-905-1111. Remember, we can always get you a lower rate, but we can't get you a lower price on a new home. Call Cap One Lending now to be approved in an hour and closed in about 2 weeks. 816-905-1111. That's 905-1111, or apply at caponelending.com.
Cap One Lending, making your dreams a reality is what we do.
Cap One Lending, a Kansas licensed mortgage company, license number MC0026341, NMLS of Missouri license 2468614. Programs and rates subject to change without notice.
Maybe your field is teaching, or maybe you're farming your field for wheat, or you're learning to play on the field for the first time, or just maybe your field is the one at the K. The University of Kansas Health System is committed to caring for you with the same experts who care for the Royals. Request an appointment at kansashealthsystem.com/Royals. The University of Kansas Health System is the official healthcare provider of the Royals.
Mahomes on the fake, little flip, McKinnon, gonna walk in, touchdown, Kansas City.
Great play design. They bring Sky Moore across on the jet sweep, and they just turn it into a little jet sweep counter, little inside flip. It's really well done.
It's really well done. It is some quintessential Kansas City Chiefs nonsense, and it's our Magic Mahomes moment of the game, brought to you by Champion Heating and Cooling. Keep your family warm this winter with our Champion Premium Furnace. Find your local Champion dealer at championhomecomfort.com. And don't forget to ask about their free 10-year parts and labor warranty. Always leading, never compromising, championhomecomfort.com. We will momentarily pivot over to hear from Andy Reid following his performance, following the Chiefs' performance. I don't know, man. I mean, the coaches are working out there. Why do we say that players have performances and coaches don't? That feels like an unnecessary double standard. We're going to hear from Andy Reid after his performance, calling up a 40-burger against the Chicago Bears. You know, the defense has gotten a little worse over the last 40 years or so. But hey, 40 burgers, a 40 burger, and it's pretty tasty. We'll hear from Andy Reid here in just a second. But first, last week we briefly talked about, and he was briefly asked about, tying the great Tom Landry for the fourth most wins in NFL history. And today, of course, with the victory, he passes him. So now Andy Reid is alone in fourth place in NFL history for the most wins from a head coach. 271. I don't want to be hyperbolic, because eventually you're so hyperbolic that, you know, nothing ever sounds real anymore. But when I said earlier that the Chiefs are at the middle of the sports universe, and really right now at the center of the entertainment universe, I want to take 1 second before we hear from Andy Reid to explain what I mean, because if for any reason, by any chance, you are a Kansas Cityan, either longtime native, recent transplant, maybe you were from Kansas City and you're listening from farther away now. Appreciate all of you. I always enjoy those stories, no matter how they go. But right now on my TV during Sunday Night Football is a Taylor Swift Capital One commercial. This commercial's been running for years. I've seen this for years. Because God only knows how much money Capital One gave to Taylor Swift. She's in all sorts of stuff, it seems like, for them all the time. They keep using the same commercials. She's a walking economy. Today, the star of stars right now was in a suite at Arrowhead Stadium, sitting next to who was the star of Super Bowl week, Donna Kelce, who is the mother of two-time Super Bowl champion and Saturday Night Live host Travis Kelce, who catches passes from Patrick Mahomes, who signed a $500 million contract as his first extension at the NFL level that's now been retooled to give him even more money even earlier on. And part of his success, of course, can be attributed to one of the greatest offensive minds in NFL history, who is now 4th in NFL history in wins by a head coach. And I'm pretty sure I missed some stuff. I'm not even talking about the draft and the Super Bowl. The recurring AFC Championship game and draft being in Kansas City, of course. Super Bowl just being a thing that the Chiefs are on the national stage in. Kansas City is so hot right now. It's crazy. And really, I don't know if I said the phrase greatest tight end of all time, because if I didn't, forgive me, I should have. Talking about Travis Kelce. Greatest quarterback in football, who I believe will be the effectively LeBron to Brady's Jordan when we look back in NFL history. And there's such huge eras and all of that. That wasn't even a Taylor Swift joke. That was just a slip.
What are your thoughts about Kobe to Jordan?
That's kind of interesting.
Caleb Williams is
LeBron.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who Kobe gets to be, because I think Mahomes is going to be in more LeBron territory, because I think the championships are going to be there, which is me being a little hopeful and, genuinely believing it. But that's what we're talking about. I think I said LeBron, Jordan, Dylan, you said Kobe. Do you know what those three guys have in common right now? One name. Jordan. Jumpman, tongue out, dunking. LeBron, biggest name in sports for 15 years. Kobe, Mamba, killer. One of the most fun players that we all got to witness. I don't care about having. I like analytics and efficiency and all that. I don't want to have an efficiency conversation about Kobe Bryant. You know what I remember about him? Dog. Brady, Manning, Mahomes. Which Mahomes? No. Mahomes. Kelce. Kelce who? Nope. No offense to Jason. Love the dude. Hall of Fame brothers. Those dudes are both Hall of Famers. Which I think means Donna should also get in. I think Donna Kelce should get a bust. If you have two sons get into the Hall of Fame, you at least get, maybe it's like a smaller one. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Contributor to the game. She should get in as a contributor to the game. That's what they have that category for. Point being, there is greatness on top of greatness on top of greatness in Kansas City right now. And that's aside from the fact that the biggest entertainer in the world was in a press box at Arrowhead today. It's just fun. I really honestly, because I also have to check this for myself, maybe even more so than most people do, because as fun as this all is, please don't hear me, complaining about this fact. But like also during Chiefs games here, we're working. Like we're taking notes and trying to get good angles on the game and figure out what's going on there. And then we're producing on the fly and cutting highlights and bringing you all this for the postgame show. And so pretty frequently I will find myself like getting in the car to drive home at night after the postgame show. And that might be the first time that I start like feeling what's going on. I'm thinking and we're fired and after losses, I start feeling things pretty much right at the beginning of the show. Sometimes it changes. But it's hard for us when everything's moving at full speed here to let stuff really sink in. That's what less about feeling it all, but really letting it sink in. I've done 3 Super Bowl postgame shows. That's crazy. Because I thought if that was ever going to be true, I would have to live to 95 years old. And they won 2 of them. That's crazy. And so, week 3 against the Bears, is that a little bit of a weird time for me to want to hit the pause button and make sure people are appreciating everything? Maybe. But I don't want you to just appreciate what happened today. 30-point win, Taylor Swift, etc. I want to plant that bug in your brain. You can mark that for cuts on Friday if you want, Dylan. That's going to sound crazy out of context. I want to plant that bug for the rest of the season for you, because once I started doing this more actively or more intentionally or whatever, I started seeing when I was just sort of letting my eyes gloss over, or just kind of making sure we were getting the show done and focusing on all that. I really hope everyone's appreciating how outrageously once-in-a-lifetime this is. I don't want to make you scared that the end's coming soon or whatever. I think there's a pretty darn good chance that Andy Reid gets to 300. You get 271 right now. I don't think he goes home every night thinking about retiring. That's not the feel I've ever gotten from him. And I certainly hope Travis Kelce looked healthier today by an order of magnitude. I hope we get to take this for granted if we choose to for many, many more years. But as Andy Reid rises to fourth most wins in NFL history, and the entertainment world is hounding Kansas City right now, I want all of us who love this place to take the time to appreciate how wild that is and how awesome it is, and how that shouldn't be something we take for granted, shouldn't be something that we just assume is going to keep happening or going to happen again. Because I can't believe it's happening now. Let's hear from Andy Reid. Enough from me. Let's start hearing from the guy who actually calls the plays. Andy Reid's press conference brought to you by Robert Brogdon's Olathe Buick GMC and Olathe Kia. Get a worry-free money-back guarantee on new vehicles when you buy from Brogdon. Visit BrogdonAutomotive.com. Also, brought to you by Westlake Commercial, a division of Westlake Ace Hardware. They're your local business-to-business supply partner. Their commercial team, dedicated business-to-business website, credit terms, and convenient store locations make it easy. Visit your local Westlake Ace Hardware store or westlakehardware.com/commercial today. Let's go to Andy Reid, starting from the top. A few questions here in the opening statement as he goes through his thoughts from the Bears game and the injury report he had as well. Here's Andy Reid's first thoughts after defeating the Bears 41-10.
All right. As far as injuries go, really Prince is the only one to mention right now with a left quad. Everybody else finished the game and did okay. Defensively, listen, I'm proud of our guys. They played their hearts out on defense. We had some great individual efforts between McDuffie. Seemed like he was all over the field. Edwards got his first interception off a Reed tip. So, and then the D-line, I thought played well. Spags had a phenomenal game plan. And the guys were flying around, as did the other coaches that were involved with it. Offensively, we got things rolling, and that's a plus against a defense, that's banged up a little bit. But our guys did a nice job with that, and whether it was Patrick with his stats that were phenomenal, Pacheco, McKinnon had a couple TDs, Rice. She showed up, did a nice job. Matt Nagy again, and the offensive coaches put together a very nice game plan, and then special teams contribute. So really, all three phases got involved. Again, Dave and Andy put together their game plan there. But it was good to see this Montreal Washington. We haven't seen him do his thing here, and so he went out and got a couple of nice returns and. I thought did a good job. Looked very secure with the ball there. So all in all, a good win. My hat goes off to the Bears. Like I told the guys in there, they played 4 hard quarters. I mean, there's, Matt's he's got a few guys banged up, but the guys played hard. So, anyways, with that, time's yours.
Let me say this. You don't become the 4th winningest head coach in the history of football and also be completely beloved by your peers by dumping on the crummy team you just killed. And that's what Andy, you hear it in there. They're a little banged up. We got right offensively. They're missing some pieces, but, Matt's a good coach. A little banged up. Also, the shout out there to Montreal Washington. He was the guy you saw back there wearing number 12 going, sorry, where did he come from? He was, I believe it was a 5th-round pick last year by the Broncos, and then I think was just cut down at roster cuts. And when the Chiefs were building up their practice squad, he was an addition from outside. Most of the practice squad guys are ones who didn't make the cut and then got scooped up there. Well, the Chiefs elevate him as Richie James goes to IR. They don't have to keep him on the active roster in this window. They would eventually if they want him to be back there every day. But he gets the call up instead of having one of the other 6 active receivers So they activated 7 receivers again today, I guess, then, That's kind of wild. I thought, hey, no Richie James, you'd be able to activate Lucas Niang or Wanye Morris in case you need them, in case all of your tackles start getting hurt. But Washington did look good back there. It wasn't huge plays, but as Reid said, it's the most important part. He looks secure with the football, even in insecure circumstances. He had that one rep where he was hit by, I can't remember who it was, but one of the blocker Chiefs, and then by the guy who was running his blocker back, and then broke a tackle after that. So a nice Chiefs debut there for Montreal, Washington. Next here from Andy Reid, talking about the defense a little bit, and then addressing Jawaan Taylor. I have a feeling that that's going to be noteworthy.
Thought we'd be where we are. I just playing well. The young guys, I think, have done a nice job. Reid's he's one more year in it and is comfortable. You saw what Edwards did, but the young guys are better. I mentioned it during training camp that the zones are tighter and man coverage is better, and we're getting the young rushers up there. They're doing a better job, and linebacker position strong. I mean, Bolton didn't play today. Drew stepped in and I thought did a heck of a job. So Willie pushed himself through and played, and I think it's an overall effort there, just of guys going through that growth process. But I'm proud of them and how they're playing. They're playing hard and aggressive. The thing is, Adam, I mean, you got to do it every week. So you got to make sure that you prepare and have yourself mentally ready to go every week.
Sort of stuff that you saw out there today.
Yeah, last week we had like over 400 yards, and we were shooting ourselves in the foot with some of the penalties, and we cut down on that a bit. I think, I checked out at all the looks that our right tackle got called on today, and I'm seeing it on both sides of the ball. I'm seeing it with our left tackle. I mean, he might be being picked on just a little bit here, but I felt today. I thought they did a good job the week before, but today I thought it was too much. I mean, I wasn't seeing it, but still we got to keep working on that and get through this.
Why did you take him out then?
Well, I subbed out some guys, just and he also got hit in the mouth and he's got a little cut in there that wasn't feeling too good. And he'll be fine. I mean, he's not. I'm trying to hide that from you, Adam.
Well, trying to hide that injury from you, Adam. That's fun. And also not the entire truth, right? I mean, Jawaan Taylor came out and Prince went in and the rest of the ones stayed the same. That if I had to guess, and the rest of it I think was even more interesting than the last part, but if I had to guess, Andy Reid took Jawaan Taylor out not because he thought he was having those infractions, but because they kept getting called and he wasn't able to adjust to that. So you say, all right, we can either have who we think is the better tackle out there with refs locked in on him, or we can send Prince out there and figure it out. But the real takeaway there, quote, might be getting picked on just a little bit. Saying today in particular, quote, today I thought it was too much. I wasn't seeing it. Andy Reid took it for week 2. And Jawaan Taylor took it in week 2. And I know Mahomes talked about it also. We'll hear from him in a bit as well. But Andy Reid said there at the podium, it might cost him a little bit of money. He really couched it in a way that I hope it doesn't, I think as he said in years past, impact the Christmas gifts for the grandkids. But he's right. Sorry. Bad news. I hate to be the ref guy. Genuinely, I really don't enjoy it. And I hate to play into the NFL having some grand conspiracy against the Chiefs, because that's not true either. The NFL wants their stars to be stars and wants them to be at the center of the universe. Right now, we got Steelers-Raiders on TV, and the NFL's not happy about Jimmy Garoppolo versus Kenny Pickett.
You don't think it helps the NFL's bottom line that Taylor Swift is at Chiefs games?
I think it might. So yeah, yes, let that team be the national story of yet another year. It's a good point, Dylan. I think they're perfectly happy with that. I think they're perfectly happy that Taylor. I've never seen Taylor Swift in another team's booth. She might have gone to an Eagles game at some point. I don't know. Maybe she's got a secret suite somewhere. Maybe she just, likes to catch a game. But the NFL benefits not at all to that point. Not at all by making the Chiefs more annoying to watch or trying to hold them down. I don't think it's a conspiracy. I just think it's bad officiating and a really unfortunate consequence of some also pretty poor broadcasting choices in Week 1, I believe. But I digress, because next up, our own Todd Lebo asked Andy Reid about Drew Tranquill stepping in for Nick Bolton today, which was an absolutely excellent performance, in my opinion. But what did Andy Reid see from Tranquill stepping in for that Mike position?
Yeah, he's a smart kid, so I thought he got in there and did a nice job of with the calls, lining guys up. Again, I haven't seen the tape on it, but it looked like he did a pretty nice job for the most part. So. But he's a good player. He was good. We competed against him all these years, so I mean, he's a good football player. We knew that.
How valuable is it that you guys have 3 running backs that you can kind of turn to where you need them?
Yeah, I thought all 3. I didn't even mention Clyde. I mean, Clyde, I thought played great. He went in the second series, and we worked him in throughout. And to have those 3 guys, I think is great. And then he finished the game, and we needed that. We needed to get that last first down and just take that knee right there, and he went and got it.
Pacheco is so fun to watch, and he's right. Pacheco's a blast. McKinnon got 2 touchdowns, and Clyde got a score and had, I think, his best game of the season, certainly. I don't know where that leaves him for best game since X, Y, or Z, because he was playing pretty good ball, then got hurt, and then never got on the field again last year, but a trio of running backs. What we saw today, running back wise, is almost exactly what I anticipated the goal to be for this trio, where Pacheco is the guy. Crazy that Clyde and Pacheco ended up both with 15 carries. That's shocking to me. That did not feel like that's how the day went. Some of that's later on too. Again, so don't take these final numbers too seriously, because the game fundamentally changed a little after halftime, and certainly after all of the after Mahomes and a bunch of the starters came out and they shuffled things around later. So again, but with how the game went in the flow of the first half, especially, letting Pacheco be your energy guy that's just getting fed here and there and getting you some very active yards, giving Clyde a chance to be the sort of not even change of pace guy necessarily, but just another dude who can share that workload a little bit. And then McKinnon is just a weapon that's hard to quantify because he's such a unique one. But that's a great rotation the Chiefs have there. Last one from Andy Reid, his thoughts on Patrick Mahomes, and then you'll hear the follow-up regarding Andy Reid's status with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, he did a good job with that. He all the way around, he played a good game. I've got the 24 for 33. That's not a bad day, So he's I always say this: we're lucky to have him, and city of Kansas City is lucky to have him, and so on. So he's a heck of a player.
Anything else? Last one, Adam. Andy, sorry in advance.
That's all right.
Taylor Swift.
You know what? I've met her before. Adam, I set him up. I just leave you with it.
All laughs after a win, and well-deserved ones. That's our friend Adam Teicher of ESPN, who might have been, I don't know why, might have been the funniest person that could have asked that question, because I genuinely believe that he was sorry. Like he said, Andy, I'm sorry to ask you this. I think he's right. But a great question from Adam and a great answer from Andy Reid. Again, the type of chuckles you can have after a 41-10 drubbing that, once again, was not nearly as close as the final score indicated, even in a 31-point victory. That's the blessing of a get-right game like this, where I believe the best team, work in progress, but I believe the best team in football just throttled what may almost surprisingly, from where the preseason began, maybe the worst team in football on the other side. Looked that way tonight. That's all you can ask for. We'll take a break, come back and hear from Patrick Mahomes next in the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show.
You're listening to live postgame coverage on Kansas City's home for the National Football League. Sports Radio 810 WHB. Kansas City's favorite sports station, 20 years and counting. Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City.
When summer temperatures get extreme, your house needs a Champion premium system that keeps your family comfortable and cool. Go to championhomecomfort.com and don't forget to ask about their free 10-year parts and labor warranty. Always leading, never compromising, championhomecomfort.com. Tito's handmade vodka on game day? Pour me in, coach. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at titosvodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Kevin Harlan here from Westwood One, inviting you to join me and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner every Monday this season. It's Westwood One's 45th year of bringing you primetime NFL games, and the schedule is packed with great matchups. Plus, you'll hear Rich Eisen from the studios with interviews and the latest news around the NFL. Don't miss any of the action every week on Monday Night Football.
Coverage of the Rams and Bengals on Monday Night Football begins at 7 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Tom Williams for Guaranteed Foods. Are you sick of spending more at the store but bringing home less? Are you tired of higher food prices every time you shop? You can do something about that, you know. Call Guaranteed Foods. Inflation-proof your food dollar. You'll have personal service, more family time, and free delivery at Guaranteed Foods, official sponsor of Family Mealtime since 1958. Find out why at GuaranteedFoods.com, then give us a call, 913-888-5000, Guaranteed Foods.
Hey, this is SSJ with more about Window Nation and more from Window Nation. When it comes to new windows, Window Nation always gives you more. But now they're giving you even more. The more windows you buy, the more you save. Up to 50% off, plus a lot more. Pay nothing for 2 full years. It's another amazing deal on the windows that deliver more for your home. More energy savings, more value, more features, more options, more beauty. And now if you want more, you get more. Just call Window Nation at 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com. Buy 5 to 10 windows and get 30% off. Buy 11 to 15 windows and get 40% off. And if you buy more than 15 windows or a house of windows, you'll get 50% off. More than that, whatever size your order is, put no money down, make no payments, and pay no interest for 2 full years. The only thing you don't get is more time. Call Window Nation today, 866-90NATION. That's 866-90NATION, or get details online at windownation.com. Window Nation never leaves you wanting for more. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan here with Kansas City's best Ford dealer, Bobby Sight of Rob Sight Ford of South Kansas City. Hey, Bobby, how you doing?
Well, Kevin, Mr. Harlan, I'm great. I actually have something new to announce.
What's that, Bobby?
Well, we've made buying cars easier than ever before. Buy your new or pre-owned vehicle in 30 minutes or less at Rob Sight Ford. It's the easiest buying process in Kansas City.
Bobby, that's incredible because you know what? Everybody loves easy.
Well, it's easy when you've got the best prices and the best staff in town. And one more thing.
What's that, Bobby?
Well, your daughter, that bought the Explorer from me at Rob Sight Ford, well, she just said yes.
Oh, yes. What, to another offer? To another car? What?
No. Yes to marrying me.
Marrying you? What are you talking about?
You're the new father-in-law of Rob Sight Ford.
The new father-in-law of Bobby, I kind of like that. Hey, from now on, why don't you just call me Kevin?
Okay, Kevin.
You know what? Let's stick with Mr. Harlan.
Rob Sight Ford at 135th and State Line in South Kansas City. RobSight.com.
I'm here at the ballpark with Brad McGee from LBA Home Services. Brad, you look annoyed.
Just look at all those people leaving the game early. There's an inning and a half left.
I see what you mean. Those fans are being shortchanged.
They're not getting the perfect baseball experience.
All 9 innings.
Exactly. It's like when we install a tankless water heater, your shower should be hot right to the end.
The perfect shower experience.
And you should never be cut short because the water goes cold.
Even if you have teenagers who can sometimes use a lot of hot water.
Makes no difference. Remember, I work at LBA Home Services, and perfect is our minimum standard.
So you believe everyone should have the perfect shower experience?
Not just me. Everyone at LBA thinks this way. Having your water go cold is like
missing the last inning and a half of the ball game.
Anything less than perfect is unacceptable. Come on, batter, swing.
One simple idea, one name to remember.
Just remember LBA.
LBAservices.com.
Hear exclusive Chiefs coverage every week from the best in the business. Only on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Trent Green, Adam Schefter, Tim Grunhard, Adam Teicher, Matt Derrick, Adam Kaplan, Jeff Shadia, Nick Leckie, Gary Barnett, Bill Moss, Mark Bowricker, Stan Weber, Sam McDowell, Seth Kaiser, Blair Kirchhoff, Kevin Harlan, Field Yates, Jesse Newell, Cynthia Freeland, and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
It's only the second target for Moore. Fields is only 3 of 6 for 35 yards passing. Stands in and delivers here. Tipped, and it's intercepted. It is picked off. Mike Edwards, a former Buck, has it.
Well, it's rolling right now. Look right here at this flat defender. They're going to run a little snag, and they're going to try to run behind him, and he just okey-dokes. Justin Reid dropped down there. He just okey-dokes. Looks like he's going to jump Cole Kmet. He fools Justin Fields and gets his hand up on the ball. That's a great job there by Justin Reid, and leads to the easy tip drill there to Mike Edwards.
An incredible play there by the Chiefs secondary, ending with an interception by Mike Edwards. That's our defensive play of the game, brought to you by Slagle Fence. Slagle Fence, as Kansas City's preferred fence company, has been serving the KC metro areas for over a decade, offering security and style. Call 816-863-6159 or go to slaglefence.com for your free estimate. It's been great defense for the Chiefs all season long, continuing today, but we'll go back to the offensive side of the fence to hear from Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. A scary moment when his leg got rolled up on. It looked at first like he was holding his knee. I think ultimately he was just sort of putting some of his weight on his knee, or kind of trying to hold his balance or whatever. But it was the ankle rolled up on, the same one that was a problem throughout the playoffs last year. Sounds like it's going to be okay, although I say that with just a tiny bit of remaining concern. Sometimes those injuries have a way of getting worse after you're resting on them, and it can nag on. So certainly we hope that's not the case. We'll hear from Patrick Mahomes in mere moments, as the quarterback's press conference is brought to you by Kansas City Acura dealers. As the Chiefs march towards another epic year, visit your Kansas City area Acura dealers to score jaw-dropping deals on new and pre-owned Acura models. Plus, get overpaid for your trade. Shop your Kansas City area Acura dealer and go Chiefs. Let's hear from Mahomes, starting with a big play to Justin Watson. You'll hear the rest of the questions in the clip as it goes on to talk more about the offense, the ankle, and how they spread the ball around with the running backs. But things opened up with Mahomes with that big throw to Justin Watson.
Yeah, it was... He actually was just supposed to have an over route, and how they disrupted the two guys that were the first two options. It just kind of opened up down the field, and I was just trying to find a way to get, because I was supposed to be on the move, and I got kind of caught up in the middle there, and I was just trying to find a way to get it to him. And I mean, it was a heck of a way of tracking the football, staying in bounds, and making a tough catch. I have a lot of confidence in Jay Watt, man, and he makes a lot of plays in a lot of big moments.
It's obviously a staple of your offense is making something that I haven't seen as much of that.
Yeah, no, it always feels good to kind of get the whole offense going. I mean, obviously, the first 2 weeks we just kind of have been out of rhythm. We haven't kind of got drives and sustained drives going, and so just to not have those killer penalties and to kind of get the offense moving in the right direction, and then all that other stuff kind of comes with it. So I was proud of the guys today. Still little things here and there we can tweak, but it was a step in the right direction. Yeah, I made it fine. Like I would have been fine to play the rest of the game. I think if anything, it kind of scared me more, just being that ankle, and so it scared me a little bit more. We taped it up, and then I was able to go.
Patrick, the balance you guys had, especially getting the running backs involved, just how happy were you to see them get involved, get their touchdowns as well, just as an overall part of it?
Yeah, it was important for us. Not only for me, but I think for the offensive line and for how teams are playing. That's what those zone coverages. We're going to have to run the football. And so to be able to get those guys going downhill, making the run plays, it opens up everything else. And I talked about it a little bit there after the game, but when the run game gets going, that's when the offense gets going. And people see the high flying, they see the throws and stuff like that. But that physicality that you have in the run game, that's what takes the offense over the top. And so I was glad we were able to get that going.
Look, the Chiefs will never be a run-first team, nor should they be. It's the modern NFL. You want to throw the ball and then run when it's easy. But that's something that the Chiefs have had some issue doing. Running the ball when that should be the easy thing. And that was not his problem today. Run game looked good. O-line looked better in the run game. And again, you got to adjust for the fact that it's the Bears. But if you can't enjoy the offense looking good against a bad defense, what would you be thinking if they looked poor against a poor defense? All you can do is look good against the JV team you beat, and most JV teams don't actually perform down to that level. Next week, we get Bears-Broncos on Sunday. I think that game should get flexed to Thursday Night Football, honestly. Move it up a few days. Go ahead and just speed that thing up. That game is built for Thursday Night Football. Al Michaels at the end, I think, would be fully cursing. Maybe drunk.
Maybe retire, probably, actually. After Colts-Broncos last year?
If he made it through Colts-Broncos and then has to sit around for Bears-Broncos, I think he hangs him up. Maybe at halftime. maybe at half. To start the second half, maybe it's just Kirk Herbstreit in an empty booth. It's going, hey, guys, it'll just be me taking you the rest of the way. Point being, we'll see who's worse in that group, and we'll figure that out next week. They look good today, and that's all you can ask for. Seeing the running game going, I think, is absolutely an excellent thing. And the most important part there being that it sounds like the ankle's okay, that he could have finished the game. It kind of scared him that they taped it up. I would say that I think if he felt perfect, I think he probably stays into the game until that whole first-team line change all went. But Gabbert was out there with the ones for a little while. He didn't say it is perfect. He said it mostly just scared him because it's the same ankle and everything. It was the toe, in the year where the Chiefs got to the Super Bowl and lost to the Bucs. That toe injury just kind of kept barking for a while, and then after the season, he got the surgery and kind of admitted that it was really a problem. Let's keep an eye on the ankle as time goes on, but it looked like it was just a little roll up. I think it was Butch who called it a basketball ankle sprain, not a high ankle like the one in the playoffs. So hopefully it is just as simple as that. Maybe he's a little sore for a while, and if the Chiefs want to let Gabbert run the offense and practice this week, it wouldn't bother me, but. Something to keep an eye on, just because I worry about Patrick Mahomes. I can't help it. But I also worry, maybe even a lot more right now, about Juwan Taylor. Patrick Mahomes asked if it was starting to feel like maybe Juwan Taylor was getting picked on the refs a little bit, which was how Andy Reid described it.
Yeah, it's wild to me. I mean, when you go back and look at the tablet and they're both in the exact same spot, I don't understand it. It's hard because he's playing great football and he's getting these penalties thrown on him. And I know it's hard to be to officiate, but I watch a lot of tape and he's no deeper than any other tackle in the league. There's other guys that are even further back than he is. So it's crazy to see, and hopefully it kind of calms down as the season goes on. But he's making adjustments, and it seems like even with his adjustments, they're not good enough, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if it's still in my mind, but I like beating them for sure.
Hey, what makes Jerick McKinnon such a weapon in the passing game? He's got 10 touchdowns in the last 9.
Yeah, he has great feel of finding the end zone. My daughter's just yelling. He has great feel of finding the end zone. He's a veteran player. I've always talked about that. He knows how to get himself open and get those yards and get into the end zone. And so. Obviously, we had more success in moving the ball and getting into the red zone, but he's a guy that can play all around the field. But it seems like when he gets in the red zone, he gets in the end zone.
Did you see his drum major touchdown celebration on the first one, and do you have any critique of it?
I didn't. I don't know if I saw the first one. I saw the second one when he was high stepping down the sideline. And I had to stop because I was like, he's going to go the full length. And so he's a great football player. And the celebrations are. I don't get told the celebrations beforehand, so I'm always just kind of chasing everybody else.
That's fun. But I'm going to go back to the serious part of it here. It's also hearing Sterling in the background. Teicher tweeted out a picture when that was happening originally, too. That's fun if you want to check it out on his Twitter page. But on Juwan Taylor, this is from Patrick Mahomes, everybody. A guy who, as he mentions, watches a fair amount of tape. It's wild to me. They're both in the exact same spot. I don't understand it. No deeper than any other tackle in the league. And then says that it seems like the adjustments aren't enough from the ref's perspective. That Taylor has been making adjustments, which I did think there were adjustments there. I thought he was lining up further up, and I thought his get-off still looked very good, but did not sort of have that optics of looking early. They is Juwan Taylor and Donovan Smith. Andy Reid said when he was asked about it, he used the phrase on both sides of the ball. I tweeted out the screen grabs, the pictures at an angle, but it looked to me like Donovan Smith and Juwan Taylor were pretty much lined up the exact same way. And it wasn't the tackles are lined up illegally, it was the right tackle. I really wonder, oh God, but next week's Sunday night again. Sunday night crew again, I should say, being Tariq and Collinsworth. I feel like this should be about enough. I feel like the officiating crew, whoever it is, on Sunday night next week, should get at the memo that's like, hey guys, we made our point. If it's egregious, flag it. But if it's not egregious, which is what I think illegal formation should be penalized for, if it is fudged on either end of the bookend, I really don't care for my team or for another team. I really truly don't care. Because if a receiver is slightly too close to the line and so he's covering up a guy, or if someone slightly too far off the line, they don't have all the legal guys. If it is a mental mistake in the alignment and someone is lined up in the wrong spot, flag it. If they're getting an egregious advantage, flag it. If they're just lined up a couple inches too far up, too far back compared to where you'd like them to be, in the way that happens all the time, nobody likes that. Nobody wants that guy in their life. You want that guy who's being a little bit too by the books, calling his own fouls and pick up basketball. Hey, you got to check it behind the half court line. You got to dribble behind the half. Nope. You pass it to me, then I pass it to you, then you pass it back to me, and I'll pass it back to you again, and then you dribble, and then your possession begins. All right, dude, I'm going to find somebody else to play with. This sucks. Find the spirit of the law, make it work. And if Mahomes is befuddled by it, I feel even more validated being befuddled by it myself. Last one here from Patrick Mahomes. He'll talk a little bit about the 25,000 yards for his career now, the youngest quarterback, the fastest trip ever to that. I don't know if he's the youngest, because I guess there could have been younger quarterbacks who played. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe the phrasing that I saw on socials was that he was the fastest quarterback to 25,000 yards, and how he feels about that. But first, Patrick Mahomes asked about Travis Kelce's +1, I suppose, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, she's a pop star. She's a tremendous singer, tremendous at everything she does, and I haven't got to meet her. But I mean, I guess if she ends up being with Travis, then I'll probably get to meet her at some point. So it seems like a good person. So hopefully I get to meet her one day.
Did you know she was going to be here? Did you tell anyone that?
Yeah, but he told me at like the last minute. But there's some things with Trav where he kind of just says it, and you're like, you don't know if it's true or not. He says it so calmly. I mean, I remember one time he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to one of the World Series or one of the playoff baseball games." And I'm like, "You said it so randomly," and then he just went, and I was just like, "But the same thing." It was like Friday. He was just like, "Yeah, I think she's coming to the game today," and then just moved about his to the game this weekend, and moved about his business. So you're kind of like, I guess that just happens. I guess so. I don't know. It's Travis.
You got 25,000 yards level today. I know you're not big on those kind of stats, but just what are your thoughts about doing that?
Yeah, it's cool. It really is cool. I don't think about that stuff, but to do it at Arrowhead, throwing it to Travis, who's got a lot of those yards. I mean, it's a tremendous honor to be a part of this organization and be able to do stuff like that at this stadium. It'll be stuff I remember the rest of my life. I did not get the ball. I don't know where Travis did with it, so we'll have to get the 50,000 faster than anybody else, and we'll get that one.
All right, thank you.
Mahomes already ready to move on to the 50,000. That's some good stuff there from the second most famous person at Arrowhead today. Probably not third, right? Probably second. In football, everybody knows Kelce and Mahomes. Outside of football, I think most people know Mahomes. Travis Kelce hosted SNL. And especially right now.
I was going to say he has Swifties now, and that's a large contingency.
He does. Any true Swiftie now knows who Travis Kelce is.
Correct. And they may not even watch football.
Yeah,
most likely, most of them don't.
I'm going to try to phrase this in a way that doesn't get cut. If you're a Swiftie who learned about Travis Kelce because of his association with Taylor Swift, you could look at Patrick Mahomes and Justin Fields and be like, okay, these are two quarterbacks playing an NFL football game. I've already forgotten their names. You know, I mean, it could just be You might know the red team is the one that Taylor Swift is rooting for.
And are we leaving Donna out of this equation?
I don't know. Well, that's a great point. It's a fantastic point. Is Dylan's best friend Donna Kelsey? Can we unpack that real quick? That's the end for the Mahomes audio. We'll take a break and come back and talk to Matt Derrick. I told him it'd be like 8:20, but I want to. Can we hear a version of your story, Dylan, or is okay?
I met her at the Kelsey car thing, and she was very nice, very
Would have been so funny if she was rude to you.
Oh yeah, there was no shot. Absolutely no chance that Donna Kelsey has a rude part about her. There's no way.
Unsurprising, but do you have a specific fun topic of conversation? Did you ask her about anything? I mean, I don't know. What was how did you guys hit it off? Do you have her number? Do you guys text now?
Just ask, can I please have a picture? And then I want, I'm not a poster. So
yeah, sure.
That'll just be for me.
Wow. Oh, really? You're just sitting on that. Okay.
And our group chat, obviously.
Yeah, I didn't mean to air it out here. I just thought the picture's awesome because you just look very happy, and she's Donna Kelsey.
It was probably the easiest Kelsey, which is crazy because she's famous. I mean, had a great Super Bowl week.
And also had a cameo on SNL, I think, right? I can't remember
Campbell's Chunky.
Oh, yeah, she's in ads now. If you don't think that's fun, man, I really love, like, the football parts of football. I really honestly do. I've loved watching the Prime Vision, all 22, and the nitty-gritty, all that. I love it. But if the spectacle of all of this doesn't do anything for you, try something else, because this is a blast. We'll take a break. Also a blast to talk to Matt Derrick of Chiefs Digest. We'll take a quick time out here. Joshua Brisco and Dylan Michaels. Covell Hudson on the production as well. It's the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show. We'll talk to Matt Derrick next.
You're listening to live postgame coverage on Kansas City's home for the National Football League. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
In town for a big football game or wanting a staycation to enjoy the great fall weather? Experience the Inn at Meadowbrook. Enjoy the lakefront park trails and spacious family suites. Nestled in the middle of parkland, lakes, and trails in the heart of Meadowbrook Park and only 15 minutes from Kansas City's attractions, the Inn is thoughtful and intimate in design, purposefully tucked away from the hustle and crowds. The Inn at Meadowbrook is a one-of-a-kind hotel you'll love to experience. For reservations, go to innatmeadowbrook.com or call 913-329-9000.
You know Good Sense has the freshest, best-tasting subs in Kansas City, but now they've got an even better loyalty club. Earn 10 points for every $1 spent. Free 8-inch sub on your birthday, 650 bonus points when you sign up. That's enough to get a free 4-inch sub. Exclusive offers, challenges, and more. It's all with the Good Sense Loyalty Club. Find it today at GoodSenseSubs.com and put your order in. Whether it's delivery or to pick up, Good Sense has you covered. GoodSenseSubs.com. Good Sense, locally owned and operated, founded in Lenexa, Kansas.
Dick Ray, he's your plumbing magician. Dick Ray, he's a man on a mission. When your pipes are leaking, your bathroom's flooding, and you're feeling kind of blue, there's a master plumber who knows just what to do. He's there for you, and he'll do it all with skill and precision. Dick Ray, he's your plumbing magician.
J-Wolf Acura offers customer experience and expert advice that is second to none. Not to mention their deals on new and used Acura cars and SUVs. J-Wolf Acura with 2 locations, 103rd and State Line in KCMO or 7727 Frontage Road in Overland Park.
Score big savings with Hy-Vee and the Kansas City Chiefs. Big points mean even bigger savings. Just shop Hy-Vee the day after a game and earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score and based on the amount you spend. If the Chiefs score 42 points, you save 42 cents a gallon with any $42 purchase. The more we score, the more you save. Win or lose, everyone scores the day after a Chiefs game only at Hy-Vee.
Valid in-store only. Must use lookup code 95345. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
You already get your groceries delivered from Hy-Vee, and that's great. But did you know you can also get your food delivered too? As in catered food? Give yourself a break from all the prepping, cooking, and the terrible, awful cleanup. Let Hy-Vee take care of your next get-together, graduation or watch parties, weddings, and holiday celebrations. Hy-Vee is happy to bring you the best food for breakfast, lunch, or dinner while you sit back and take all the credit. Contact Hy-Vee to cater your next event today. Voted Kansas City's best grocer.
Hey, frozen treat fans, celebrate the newest Andy's Frozen Custard in Olathe on West 105th by Dutch Brothers Thursday, September 28th with $2 regular size one-topping sundaes all day long. I'll be at Andy's from 11 until 1 o'clock. Spin the wheel for prizes and enter to win free Andy's Frozen Custard for an entire year till 4 p.m. Andy's, the world's finest frozen custard. The grand opening in Olathe, Thursday, September 28th with $2 regular size one-topping sundaes all day long. Top your day with a smile at Andy's. At the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End All Alzheimer's, walking means so much more. It means fighting for a different future, for families facing the disease today, for treatments. Because when you take part in a walk to end Alzheimer's, you're not just walking, you're fighting to stop the disease. We're closer than ever, but to get there, we need you. Join us for the world's largest fundraiser to fight the disease. Register today at alzwalkkc.org. That's alzwalkkc.org.
Jayhawk fans, this is Lance Leipold. Whether you're on the field or watching from the stands, you don't want to be sidelined with an injury this season. For sprains, strains, fractures, concussions, and more, recover quickly with care from the University of Kansas Health System. Learn more at kansashealthsystem.com/sportsmedicine. The University of Kansas Health System is an official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics, together with LMH Health. Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Kevin Harlan here from Westwood One, inviting you to join me and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner every Monday this season. It's Westwood One's 45th year of bringing you primetime NFL games, and the schedule is packed with great matchups. Plus, you'll hear Rich Eisen from the studios with interviews and the latest news around the NFL. Don't miss any of the action every week on Monday Night Football.
Coverage of the Rams and Bengals on Monday Night Football begins at 7 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Let's go. Just get it out to Herbert. It looks for a block. Out to the original script. He lost the ball. Still loose. Kansas City's got it. Willie Gay. Trent McDuffie forced it. Gay recovered it. And the Chiefs are going crazy.
Well, it looks like Taylor Swift picked a good day to come here to Arrowhead. Trent McDuffie does a great job pulling on that front tip of the ball. That's where you want to attack it. They teach these defenders attack the front tip and the back tip. He pulls it out, and you said Willie Gay, you mentioned he comes up with it, but man, they got Taylor Swift here. Their offense has found their rhythm. Kelsey's catching balls. I mean, who's living better right now than the Chiefs?
Nobody I can think of. That play from Trent McDuffie, excellently broken down there by Greg Olsen, was a fantastic play. Really just grabbed the hand of the ball carrier, pulled with it, the ball pops out, and Trent McDuffie is who is getting the green light from me today. That's brought to you by Green Light Dispensary. McDuffie not only in the strip there, but also absolutely plastered to Bears pass catchers all day. He's been tremendous in this sophomore season. He was tremendous when he was on the field in his rookie season as well, but he's been absolutely fantastic. So give him the green light today. Brought to you by Green Light Dispensary. Outstanding customer service, superior product, and continuously voted Missouri's best. Open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. Find a location near you today at greenlightdispensary.com. Video now circulating around Twitter of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift walking out together. Can confirm, have seen this video with my own eyes. And it seems like that will continue to be a fun topic of conversation, making it both from the broadcast to Twitter to everywhere all around. I'm wondering if Matt Derrick at any point had visual evidence of seeing Taylor Swift at Arrowhead. Matt Derrick is brought to you by Cap One Lending. The Freedom Loan at Cap One Lending is the exclusive loan that helps you pay your home off in less than half the time and gives you access to your home's equity without having to refinance. Go to caponelending.com for more. That's caponelending.com. Matt, are you officially a Swiftie now? Have you seen Taylor Swift with your own eyes at any point today?
Not in person, just on the video boards and everything. And I thought if there was any one place in Arrowhead that I would find Taylor Swift after the game, it would be in the penthouse suite presented by Tickets for Less. But I'm up here in the penthouse suite, and I do not see Taylor, so I'm very disappointed.
I think she would have really enjoyed some of those couches that you've done so many post-game call-ins from.
No, I mean, there's absolutely no doubt. I mean, Taylor and Travis would, I think, find these couches very comfortable.
Well, I'm glad that you're there to enjoy them, even if they can't be there to share in that beautiful moment. Where do you want to begin on 41-10? Where do you start?
I was going through the box score and everything and all the stats, and I found the one that I think that you and I can really just bond over the most.
Uh-huh.
The one that's just the absolute most telling about this game.
Yes.
The Chiefs in the fourth quarter controlled the ball for 10 minutes and 45 seconds. The Bears had the ball for 4 minutes and 15 seconds, and they outscored the Chiefs 10-0. And I think that was the story of the game, wasn't it?
I think so. I think at the very bare minimum, I am thrilled that you brought that to my attention because it's certainly my big takeaway. I love time of possession talk. And yeah, frankly, I'm not sure. It felt like the Chiefs were barely hanging on, Matt. And I mean, that clearly shows there.
Yeah, I mean, if this game had gone on for, this is one of those games that if it had just gone on for like 7 more days, I mean, Chicago never would have caught up. I mean, they could have played this game the rest of the season, and the Bears never would have figured out the Chiefs. I mean, this was a dismantling. I mean, in every phase, shape of the game. So, now the Chiefs did what they're supposed to do. So, pat them on the back.
Yep.
I don't know if it's like, hey, let's break out the parade and everything, but you got to back it up. But this was the offense breaking out of its shell a little bit. It was the defense continuing what it's done for the first 2 weeks. I mean, not a lot to complain about today.
No, and let's split it into each side of the ball because there's some interesting stuff on the more micro level. But if I say, hey, what's more important to you and impactful to you, as you mentioned that it's the Bears. But how many times over the years have we said, oh, the Chiefs couldn't put a bad team away, or the Chiefs let a bad team hang around. They played down to the level of their opponent, or bleep the AFC South. Some of those things we've said 100 times over the last few years. What's more meaningful to you? The dominant offensive, let's just call it first half, and then a little bit of the third quarter that the one stayed in, or the defense completely smothering the Bears with the exception of absolute garbage time scores?
Yeah, I mean, to me, the offense putting on a show today for the first time this season, it's nice, but you expected it all along. I mean, that's, to me, what you think of this offense and Patrick Mahomes. You figured they were going to figure out eventually. Andy Reid said something that made me go to the stats to find out for sure. And because, he noted last week they had 400 yards of offense and just shot themselves in the foot. No, okay, they had 399, close enough. Mm-hmm. But looked it up. In the Patrick Mahomes era, that last week, those 17 points were the fewest points the Chiefs have scored when getting over at least 399 yards of offense. So there's some legitimacy to him when he said that, last week 17 points really wasn't indicative of how well the offense was playing. They were just making mistakes. Well, today, for the most part, they didn't make a lot of mistakes and they scored a lot of points. But to me, I think the bigger story is the defense continuing to put together this effort. Essentially, the first team defense hasn't given up a touchdown since week one.
Yeah.
Even in the defense as a whole, basically went 2 full NFL games without giving up a touchdown.
Yeah.
And no matter the opponent, that's impressive. So the fact that we're continuing to get data points that suggest that this is a really good defense is very telling to me.
And look, the offensive line for the Bears horribly banged up. We know that. But Dylan made this point when we were watching the game as I was doing my best to find new and fun ways to disrespect the Bears. It was talking about the pass catchers. Points out that's a spot where they've invested some, that they do have good players. Claypool's been a mess this year for all sorts of confusing reasons, but he had the first catch of the game for Chicago. And there are guys who are generally difficult to cover. And the Chiefs DBs today, I saw some tweets. I know I saw Nate tweet about it. I think you tweeted about it at some point. It's hard to see on the broadcast, but it seemed like Fields had nowhere to go with the football. And then when he tried to run, there wasn't a lot for him there either. I mean, those are the two things you could reasonably fear. But anyway, am I seeing it right, hearing it right, that the DBs from the skybox were something to behold?
Yeah, I mean, there weren't a lot of openings. I mean, it was hard to find. You have to put it on the secondary. I mean, they did a really nice job. The linebackers, too, when dropping back into coverage, they did a nice job. It's hard to decide, where you give more credit to. Do you give it to the front four for really doing a good job for the most part of containing, Justin Fields? I mean, they did a good job of making sure that he stayed in the pocket because that's where the Chiefs felt like that he was the least dangerous. That if they could force Justin Fields to simply stay in the pocket, force him to find some open receivers, that he wasn't going to find anybody. And that's what happened. I mean, other than a couple of times when maybe they broke contain a little bit and let him escape. I mean, he did have a 17-yard scramble, had a few other gains as well. But, for the most part, there just wasn't any lanes there for him to do what he usually likes to do. And, from a downfield standpoint, no, there were no options. I mean, even when the plays were extended, there weren't any options. So, no, I mean, it was a complete smothering by this Chiefs defense of the Bears offense today.
And next week against the Jets, I have absolutely no concerns whatsoever that they will continue to do that. Maybe even better pass catchers, but an even worse quarterback, I think. I think that's true. I don't know. I'm not sure if I need to give that more thought or not, but it's certainly an offense that might be similar. That will not be true on the other side of the ball because the Jets defense has a whole lot more to fight for than the Bears do, even as the other side of the ball lets them down. When you say that, hey, it's nice to see the offense get back on track, I'm happy to see them put up a 40-burger, even if it could have been a whole lot more than that, and even adjusting for the opponent. Was there anything that stood out to you before we get to the Juwan Taylor part of the conversation that where the Chiefs offense was just in sort of Chiefs offense mode, or was that just a matter of, like you said, you stop shooting yourself in the foot, you end up back in that sort of, hey, maybe we've been better than we've shown kind of territory? And I don't know if there's anything else that we hadn't seen yet this year. I think I got a few contenders for that.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that we saw today that we really hadn't seen this year was this team playing the majority of the game without mistakes. Certainly, hey, they stopped scoring when they were turning over the football, turned it on a couple of drives there in the second half. That kind of put an end to the scoring threat. Probably a good thing because otherwise they would have put up like 55 points on the Bears, and that's just not very sporting. The other thing about the offense that really stood out to me was just the play of the offensive line because they were able to do it both ways. I mean, they were plowing open some holes in the ground game. They were getting, there were some real open lanes for those running backs to go through. And the average wasn't glossy. I mean, Isaiah was a little over 4. Clyde was a little under 3. I mean, that's not fantastic. But, maybe there's a little bit in the second half where the Bears just knew they were going to run, and so there was a lot of surprise there. But the offensive line really dominated this game. I mean, yes, the Bears defense is struggling, and they're a coordinator left this week, so you should dominate them. But they really controlled it in the run game. Mahomes had all day in the world to throw for the most part. Wasn't really touched. I mean, even when he got touched in a scary way, it was because kind of got blocked into him a little bit. To me, I think this is going to be a really good offensive line. And I think today you saw it, that when they're not committing penalties, it is a very good offensive line.
We can talk about what Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes had to say about Juwan Taylor because I thought it was interesting. But first, I want to know what you think about Juwan Taylor and what you saw today.
I mean, I for the most part saw a guy that was doing it by what the NFL says is the law. I mean, maybe not the letter of the law, because nobody plays by the letter of the law anymore. Right. But I saw a guy that, for the most part, was doing that. I mean, did I feel like he was still tipping his hand a little bit? That right foot's a little bit further back on pass plays than it is on run plays. Yeah, but I didn't think that on the ones that got called that they were egregious. I mean, probably worthy of a penalty, but I also see a lot of guys who don't get called for the exact same thing. And you don't have to look any further than, Andy Reid's point was that he felt like Donovan Smith was probably lined up the exact same way on his own line and wasn't getting called for it. So I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, right now, Juwan Taylor's just a marked man. Every officiating crew is going to flag him for that if they think that he's over the line. And he just needs a couple of clean games to get them off his back, so to speak. And, that means he just has to play straight up for a couple of games and then go back to how he's more comfortable playing. I think that's essentially what Andy Reid was kind of saying after the game, except that he thinks he's already doing that and that the officials should just back off.
Yeah, and I tend to agree with that and with everything that you laid out there. The other thing that I said earlier is it is absolutely impossible for me to buy at all the idea that Juwan Taylor lined up illegally exactly 2 times today. Because of course not. Of course you have the refs have to pick the spots where they're going to throw the flag. And if you think he's lining up offsides or in illegal formations every single time, I honestly would rather them just throw the flag 5 plays in a row and just to make the point until he adjusts properly. Because the fact that one got thrown on what ended up bringing back a long MVS touchdown feels completely random. He wasn't any further back there than he was in the first snap of the game, and like you said, and like Reid said, he wasn't lined up any further back than Donovan Smith was. So I don't know. I'm saying the exact same thing that you said and the things I said when Reid and Mahomes talked about it, and I am frustrated because it seems so terribly inconsistent and like they are making it up as they go. And that's the worst place I think a refereeing crew can be.
Yeah, and it did. I mean, it did feel a lot like that today, that it was probably just a little bit random. And, were they – and they can't really necessarily say that they were picking, big plays for it to happen because the flags came out before that and everything. But it did seem like there was just some inconsistencies with it, and certainly inconsistencies in that it's not necessarily being called both ways. Yeah. And that's Andy Reid's big point, is just that hey, if you're gonna officiate the way that they did on today, then yes, it's kind of like holding. You could call holding on every single play. Where the NFL has pretty much gotten with tackles in this league is that they're only going to call it when it's egregious. Was Juwan Taylor egregious today? No, I mean, for the most part, he was pretty much in line with what everybody else around the league does. So I don't know what else the guy can do until he just right now. I mean, he is the poster child for this, and was it? Do I want to put on my tinfoil hat and say, hey, maybe the officials were going to call him real tight again today because next week the Chiefs are in NBC primetime, and the same officiating crew that was all over him in week 1 is going to be doing it again. I mean, I'm not going to be that crazy. But then again, I mean, crazier things have happened. Yeah. So I don't know. But I think that at this point, I don't know what else you want the guy to do other than just absolutely line up like it's 1978. And that's great as long as you're going to make everybody else in the league do it too.
Exactly. Yeah, sure. If you want to enforce it that way, make everybody do it, that's cool with me. Last thing real quick, Matt, of the guys we haven't named, I believe, unfortunately and unfairly named skill position players, but of the running backs who we had the rotation that we talked about and where they all ended up, the pass catchers, you got some good work from Rashee Rice. Unfortunately, that Blaine Gabbert pick was completely on him, I think. But when you look at the grouping there, where Sky Moore is sort of the chain-moving possession receiver you like to see, Rashee Rice looks like he's got some special traits, looks comfortable to me, especially kind of just climb into some of that patch of grass and space that they need to find. I saw some good stuff. Justin Watson looks like a real receiver. Where do you look in terms of the running back receiver, the flex spots, if you will, who are not named Travis Kelce?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of came out the way that I kind of at least expected the distribution to go, maybe, because without Richie James, hey, there were, maybe a dozen snaps today that were going to go to somebody else. And I figured that if anybody, those were probably going to end up going to Rashee Rice. And it's pretty much how it went. You also figured Kadarius Toney was probably going to, take a little bit smaller workload than he's had. Looked like that too. And where did the targets go and maybe his routes go? Maybe it looked like Rashee Rice because Sky, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, both those guys have their role. I mean, they are what they are. You're not going to give them any more work or any less work, right now. So those guys. And then it's really, hey, how healthy is Toney? If Toney's ready to go a lot, then maybe he will. If not, then Justin Watson and Rashee Rice are probably going to get a little bit of his work. And then guys like Justin Ross are going to kind of fill in. And I thought, when Justin Ross gets the first target of the game, it felt like a little, okay, is this forced? Is this just trying to figure out how to get him involved a little bit more? Apparently not, because then he kind of disappeared from the rotation after that. And it's hard for me to see really as popular as the guy is, because of the skill set and athleticism and everything. It's hard to see, a big role for him right now because I don't know what his role in this offense is. I mean, I think that he's got one in probably some short yardage situations, goal line, red zone, as a big target kind of guy. But, is he ready for something bigger than that? Well, based on what we've seen to this point, you'd have to say no because he hasn't gone out there and proven it yet.
Yeah, it feels like if he plays a bit role this year and is ready for a larger one next year, I'd sign up for that now. But, patience is not one of my most common virtues, Matt, and that can't possibly surprise you to learn. So the idea that you learned it just now is honestly offensive to you and your ability to observe me as a person.
Well, you have a lot of virtues, Josh. So, I mean, if I'm going to list off all your virtues, I mean, I'd have to list a while before I got the patience. But no, now that I know, I just won't list it at all.
I think that's probably where it belongs. Matt, you're the best. Appreciate it. Matt Derrick of ChiefsDigest.com, brought to you by Cap One Lending. Looking forward to our Friday conversation in the zone. Looking forward to reading the work on Chiefs Digest, and looking forward to your what I imagine will be your top 5 Taylor Swift song power rankings that might hit the site soon.
Oh gosh, I'd have to learn at least 3 or 4 more Taylor Swift songs to do that.
I'll help you work on it. We'll figure it out.
Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it.
That's our lover, Matt Derrick, here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. That's Taylor Swift, not just a song, but an album, folks. Matt Derrick, Fearless. It's another one. I don't have another. You know what Matt Derrick has? A great reputation. Tales of his greatness at this point are basically folklore. Oh, God, sorry, Dylan. I just looked at the time. I do not want to be here until midnight.
You're listening to live post-game coverage on Kansas City's home for the National Football League. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Everyone knows Family Leisure is having the world's biggest spa sale. Did you know it's also time to save hundreds, even thousands on patio furniture, pool tables, shuffleboard, and more? You can beef up your entertainment area with couches, sectionals, and theater seating now on sale at Family Leisure. Make it a September to remember with special 810 listener pricing at Family Leisure. Spas, basketball goals, play sets, trampolines, everything for family and fun together on sale at Family Leisure. K10 and Ridgeview in Olathe.
913-888-7727. Awesome.
Hey, Kansas City, Stephen St. John here. Let me tell you about my incredible experience with Border Magic. They just installed stunning custom concrete landscape edging around our entire home. Our landscaping now looks like a work of art. This concrete landscaping edging will improve your curb appeal and enhance your property value. I would recommend Border Magic to anyone. Check out images of their work at southkc.bordermagic.com. Border Magic, a perfect cost-effective way to create a gorgeous first impression of your home. Call Border Magic today.
Listen up, sporting fans. Central Bank of the Midwest invites you to score a better banking experience with our new sporting checking account. Now you can show off your team spirit at the match or on the go with the official sporting debit card. Plus, you'll gain access to Central Bank's award-winning mobile app with more than 30,000 reviews and a 4.9-star rating. So, score big today by opening your sporting checking account at any of our convenient Central Bank locations or by visiting sportingchecking.com. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Bob with Culligan Water. The Aquasential is the latest line in Culligan's long history of top-of-the-line water treatment products. It's smarter, more efficient, and provides the best water yet. We've put together special pricing for 810 listeners, and we're offering discounts on options for your home or business. Contact us to claim your offer and learn more at CulliganKansasCity.com/810. Culligan Water. Better water, pure and simple.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Jack Johnson to tell you that I'll be out live at Hollywood Casino this Monday for the KC Legends Show. My special guest this Monday is former Pro Bowl wide receiver and Chiefs Ring of Honor member Carlos Carson. We will break down the Bears game and preview the upcoming matchup with the New York Jets. There's no better place than inside Hollywood Casino to place your bets, featuring 16 betting kiosks, 5 betting windows, and 45 HD TVs for viewing the best games. See you Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. at Hollywood Casino.
Let's do a little detective work here. Travis Kelce, raucous introduction here, as always. And then there's the biggest pop star in the world, Taylor Swift, with Travis's mom, Donna. I think the secret's out. Who's she here to see?
I think the secret's out. I think we can play matchmaker and put the rumors to rest. I think they are officially a couple, and I think the internet right now is going insane.
Good pickup on the blitz. Mahomes gives him time right to Kelce. Into Bears territory, down across the 35.
Well, you come into the game and you think you have a plan. I think the plan should start with covering arguably the best tight end in NFL history. Travis Kelce, you see, just kind of nice job by Pacheco, giving a little extra time, but they just flat out leave Travis Kelce uncovered on the little wheel route right on time.
A truly incredible sequence there on the broadcast of taking a look at not the press box, but the suite with Taylor Swift and Donna Kelce sitting side by side. And then Patrick Mahomes goes straight to Travis Kelce, and the Chiefs offense keeps on rolling. It's the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show. I am Joshua Brisco. Dylan Michaels on the other side of the glass, and shout out to Covell Hudson on the production side as well. Three of us are here with you as we chug along to, we'll get you to, I think we'll go till our fully allotted 9 o'clock here. So about 10 more minutes, we'll bring you some more audio from the locker room, and then we'll hand you over to Sunday Night Football. Just entering halftime, Steelers and Raiders, 13-7, Pittsburgh up on Vegas right now, but the Raiders will get the football to start the second half, so should be a good game, even though it's a couple teams that have some quarterbacking questions and some, issues. Not quite the high-flying fun of the Chiefs offense today, but should be a great football game between a couple of great franchises throughout NFL history. Just not as exciting right now as they have been in the past. Anyway, I digress. We'll bring you the second half of that game right here on your home for the NFL Sports Radio 810 WHB, but not until after we hear a few more clips of audio from Arrowhead. Going back now to the locker room to hear from Isaiah Pacheco. Ends the day with 15 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown. I'm not sure what his numbers were before it became kind of backup mode and everything, but I think he was averaging around that 4-ish yards per carry number all day, and he's just so much fun to watch. He's also fun to listen to. Here's Isaiah Pacheco.
How important was it that you guys got the run game established early in this one?
It's very important that we come together as a unit and just build this thing up and keep rolling.
Is there something about, you have a physical running style. It's fast but physical. Establishing that physical presence early in the game, it seems like it changed things.
Absolutely, it does change the game to show the backers that, we're ready to roll and you're going to put pressure on them. Not only that, we have the best quarterback, but we got a good run game, man. We are able to take pressure off of Pat when we need to.
What was it about the running back group today? You guys combined for 4 touchdowns. Was it something specific with matchup, or what allowed you guys to have all the success?
I'll say next man up mentality. When whoever's in, the same mentality. We're going to go down there and go score, and that's the mentality we bring to the unit. And as far as for one another, whoever in, go get it.
Isaiah, you're known for some of your dance moves, but can you critique Jarrett's drum major celebration down the field?
Hey, that's fire. I can't critique it because I ain't never do it. I try to follow up, and we practice at a practice. So like I said, when we practice things at practice, it more so happens in the game.
I heard he was really fired up for that one. Why?
Practice it in practice.
Okay. Everybody's wanting to know, did you know that Taylor Swift was in the stadium today?
Hey, for sure. I ain't know, but I seen. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing my job, and you know what I'm saying? I can't focus on distractions. I got to focus on what was out there, and that was the ball.
Did you know Taylor Swift was in the building before the game?
I'm not sure. I wasn't really worried about it, but more so I was focused, locked in.
How confident is the offense as a whole right now?
That's what it takes to be confident. More so just building off of one another energy, and that's what we have to keep doing to keep this thing rolling.
After a couple close games, how does it feel just go out and beat the hell out of somebody?
It feels great to put points on from the offensive side, and not only that, defensive side, just getting us the ball back, and we're just being able to roll and keep things up to tempo.
It's going to be a hard team to beat if you guys are playing the way that you played today.
Yes, that just comes with hard work at practice. So when have ups and downs in the game, then we're not pointing a finger and just looking forward to the next big play.
How much the defense is playing so well? How much pressure does that take off you get?
It takes a lot of pressure off of us for Pat, especially. Get the guys on the field with fresh legs, and we're ready to roll. And we love scoring, so that's what we got to do more.
Did you guys need a game like this, though? You
absolutely.
Blowing up and hadn't been able to do it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. We need a game like this, and just comes with practice. And coaches was confident enough in the scheme they drew up, and us as players, we got to go execute.
When Derrick and Clyde had both found the end zone, are you telling the coaches, hey, I need one too, or what's the thing?
Hey, Jet and Clyde come back saying, oh, I need one too. Okay. So that's the brotherhood we have in the room, and you know what I'm saying? We pulled it off. All three of us got in the end zone, and that's what it's all about.
What is it about the chemistry in that running back room? Because you all seem to have different personalities, and I don't want to say odd, but let's go with unique personalities, but it seems to work, right?
Yeah, and that's what it takes, man, to have the personality. Coach Reid says show it, and for us as running backs, we only get one guy in the game at a time, so when that player is in, we're cheering him on.
How do you have so much fun in life? I'd like to be you for one day. Where's it come from?
It's the energy, man. I love being myself, and Coach Reid always says, show your personality. And for me, it don't get no better than doing that and being comfortable around the guys that you love doing it with.
Last couple of weeks, you guys had success up the middle. You getting the ball, short yardage. How's that feel? Just to out physical someone and pick up that first down or touchdown?
It feels phenomenal, and for me, just being in the position, understanding the situation, and understanding to get the first down. Don't matter what the yards are, just try to get the first down.
Yeah, my fault. Just wanted to ask this, but what was the celebration this about?
Drewski, I just put up on the side. You get money. Yeah, you gonna throw that on there.
Hey, I'm going to show you this. Donovan gets really fired up after this run you had here. What do you think that was about for him and for you guys?
Hey, that's right there. That's right there. That shows finish. And Coach always talks about finishing and finding the edge. And right there, that shows one of my teammates finishing and showing passion for the game.
How much did you need a running game like this? You guys really hadn't run the ball.
Just comes with the game, and for me, allows Pat and the rest of the guys to get rolling. But most importantly, keeps the defense on their toes.
And do you think something worked for you guys this week, like the man blocking?
I say just practice, bro. We just went hard at practice and came out today, and it felt like practice, I'll say.
What was hard about practice? Or how did you guys go hard, I guess, what'd you say?
It's competing. The competition level is always there once we go against the scout team. And, credit to those guys that work hard pushing us at practice against prepared.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
It was Isaiah Pacheco, and it was like just like it wasn't practice. Tell you what, man, that's how you draw it up. That's good news for everybody. And that will be all the audio we bring you here tonight in the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show. You want to hear more? It'll be coming to you in the Border Patrol tomorrow morning, a bunch from Stephen St. John. Plus, we'll have more in the zone. We'll chop up some more audio bits and bytes and figure out what it is that we're going to take away from this game altogether. Here's where I'll leave it. Juwan Taylor is currently under the NFL's microscope. At some point, I'd love to believe that sanity will reign. The NFL doesn't make me believe that too strongly, but I remain at least hopeful. On the other side, incredible to see the offense have the get-right game that it needed against the exact opponent you'd want to have for a get-right game, a team completely disheveled. You'll take what you can get when you put up a 40-burger in just a little more than one half. Meanwhile, the defense looks absolutely legit. But I'll echo something I said earlier in the show that I think is important. Appreciate what the bleep is happening right now, because the entire internet is revolving around Arrowhead Stadium, Travis Kelce, and Taylor Swift. Kansas City's having a moment. I'm glad to be here for it. I hope you are too. That's going to do it for the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show. We'll talk to you again next week. Prime time, baby. Until then, bye, Mom.
Score big savings with Hy-Vee and the Kansas City Chiefs. Big points mean even bigger savings. Just shop Hy-Vee the day after a game and earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score and based on the amount you spend. If the Chiefs score 42 points, you save 42 cents a gallon with any $42 purchase. The more we